We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
Yo, and welcome back to the Triton Esports channel. It's me, Alan, Administrator Passauer, back at it again with a League of Legends ARAM showcase. And today, joined with me is my co-host, as always.
It's your boy, Paul R. Posazara, back at it again with the casting. It's the dynamic duo, you know, the casting duo. It's me and Alan back at it. So we're going to be casting some League of Legends games, but it's going to be a different type of showcase because we're going to be doing some ARAM games. Technically, it's not actually just ARAM because you can pick your champions. So it's PAM. Technically, it's PAM today. We're going to be doing some PAM games. However, it's going to be a showcase with the UOG Triton Esports team, along with 3 other teams. It's going to be the Bishop Baumgardner or Bishop Obispo Esports team, along with Team Dememen and Team Mayflower, where they're going to be competing against each other for a best of 1, and the winner of each match is going to go compete for a best of 3. So it's going to be a fun time. I think we're going to have something different, something spicy. I haven't been playing like League of Legends. I think I played it like just a few days ago, and it's different, but we're not playing Summoners Rift.
Yeah, you've been playing a lot of TFT, so I'm sure some of that knowledge trickles down somehow. But yeah, we
Somehow,
get to see
somewhere.
some familiar faces from Demimon's team. You guys, I'm sure that our regular viewers will recognize some of them. Team Mayflower as well. You guys might recognize some faces there. And the Bishop, up and coming new team. Very exciting to see the school systems get in on it and join our tournaments. And I'm excited to see more. So without further ado, ArcPulse, take it away.
Oh yes, actually before we get started, you know, for this month, we actually have several showcase matches and tournaments available. We have Saturday tournaments, which are free for all residents of Guam to compete in, and we have over $1,500 in prizes. That's a lot of prizes to give away. So every Friday before those tournaments, those Saturday tournaments, we're gonna have a exhibition, or basically some sort of showcase featuring the Triton esports athletes versus some of our island's most notable esports players. So also before we get started as well, you know, we gotta do our thing. You gotta thank our sponsors. So
You gotta thank the people responsible for keeping the channel alive. Thank you to our sponsors, GlidePath, Guam Army National Guard, the UOG Endowment Foundation, Lottie Esports, and NACE. Special thanks to MacTech, PDS, Geek Out, and GameStop Guam. So tonight we're gonna have a League of Legends showcase featuring the Triton Esports League team versus the familiar faces we just recently talked about. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the bracket using my production magic.
Magic wand, magic hand.
Magic.
Oh.
And
So
here we
go.
have it. So our first matchup is going to be Bishop Baumgardner versus the Triton Esports team. And the following that will be the Mayflower team versus Team Demement.
So I'm excited to see how it turns out. I mean, Bishop Baumgardner has been actually present in a lot of our tournaments. They've been competing in various games. So I think this might be the first time that we actually see them for League of Legends. But I'm excited, and I think that we are actually ready to go. So let's go and check out whether or not the teams are ready, and let's get them started as well.
Yeah. We're going to be going into the draft phase shortly, but before we do, I just like to mention that since this is the ARAM map, Howling Abyss, we have to consider team comps and how this is not Summoner's Rift. This is a very non-traditional way to play the game unless you're an ARAM main. And even if you are an ARAM main, playing it in tournament draft is going to be a little bit different because you are going to be given those 5 picks and bans that you aren't usually given in ARAM. I mean, you don't get any picks in ARAM. It's all random, all mid. But now that it's a tournament pick all mid, it's very different.
Agreed. As we are going to be doing also the banning phase. I think one of the best tactics for this is just banning out like heavy CC champions, or just banning out champions that you feel that your opponent is going to be using. I mean, that's I believe what you call the local strat, where you target ban certain you ban the local meta of what the players are actually playing, just to kind of lower their chances of success. But so far we see a Namumu ban. I'm not quite sure which team that is. I can't really see which team specifically. But we're going to be seeing also a Yuumi ban as well.
I think it's a good choice to ban these AoE champions out early because area denial is huge in a 1-lane map, right? So things like Veigar, Amumu, Yuumi are going to have a large influence on the game because of the area they consume when they ulti. They have a lot of CC. Poke champions like Zareth, Vel'Koz, maybe even Jhin can be a threat on a map so small because Jin's ult basically covers up the whole lane if positioned properly. We have to consider dive tanks like Alistar, Zac, and Amumu, which was already banned, and healers as well. Tanks to initiate the fight, poke to grind them down, and healers to keep the people in the fight sustained, keep them healthy. Things like Sona and Soraka, I feel like would have a decent amount of sustain, just keep the team alive. Basically just fuel them since there's no backing for gold, no backing for health. So this is our esports team.
Our UOG Triton esports team. We actually have Hycon, Moon Princess, Navi, and I believe that screen
just Maui and Rise as well.
Rise, yes. We don't have a specific lane roles for each of them. However,
because it's ARAM.
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see. As we do see the Bishop Obispo esports team, we have Bunny Desu. Is that, I believe, Hurry? Is that Hurry? There's Raisan and Zenzani. So Zanzani? I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but they'll correct us eventually, right? They're gonna correct us.
Hey, if they keep playing the tournaments, we'll eventually have to know how to say their names correctly, and maybe we'll get a interview with them in the future so that we could talk to these players and promote esports a little bit more. We see some of the bans coming out here. On the side of Bishop, they've elected to ban Amumu, Cho'Gath, and Zyra. I don't think those are bad bans at all. Zyra has a lot of area denial, as we recently talked about. Amumu, again, an area denial tank. Cho'Gath, an ever-scaling tank with Consume. Very big issue. And of course, with the true damage, can execute champions when they're low HP range, when they're, low health range. And on the side of UOG, we see Yuumi, Janna, and Zeri banned.
Yeah. How do you feel about about Zeri actually as a champion? Because I tried playing Zeri in ARAM, and it was kind of a weird, it's a weird champion, man. You have to be constantly clicking. I think it's more caster based rather than actual auto base. So I don't know if people have really picked up on it. There's I think mixed reviews on how well she's performing. So I find it interesting that they banned out Zeri. Maybe maybe the Bishop team actually does play Zeri. So I don't know.
Potentially. I mean, Zeri is really annoying in the top lane. I don't know if you had to deal with that yet, but in the top lane, she could constantly poke you. She does play a lot like Ezreal, where you just kind of spam Q more than you spam auto attacks. But when she pops off and uses her ult, she gets that attack speed steroid. So she can be used in an ADC application as well as a caster application. But yeah, more than likely she's played as a caster. Not sure exactly why she's banned in ARAM. I not add her in an ARAM match because I don't know. I just haven't seen that champion in ARAM match quite yet. Janna, obviously, a lot of healing. Tornadoes are annoying and they take up the whole lane basically. And she's just a good champion, so good ban there. And Yuumi is Yuumi.
The one thing I really wanted to point out with the synergy on the Triton Esports team is that they have picked up the Ivern and the Rengar. So you're going to see some bush tactics, some death bush tactics with having Rengar just hide in a bush to get that passive leap onto enemy champions. But there's a lot of things that can stop Rengar in his tracks. I mean, there's Seraphine that does have that the passive, the double, what is it, a root, and also the charm as well. And then also we have technically just the snare from Lux. So there's some sort of CC that can prevent Rengar from going to ham, but it's gonna be a fun bush tactic from the side of Triton Esports, as they also have a Karma, which is just gonna be poking them out. So they kind of have a lot of mixed damage from this point on.
Yeah, so far though, I'm not a huge fan of UOG's draft just because they have an Ivern and a Karma. It's like a double enchanter situation where, you're providing shields and you're providing target access with the bush technique with Ivern Rengar. But I guess Ivern summons Daisy, which makes it a 6v5.
Right.
So, I could see the point in that, but the damage is going to lack unless we're going to see a full AP Karma instead of an Enchantress Karma, or maybe even a tank Karma, which, it has potential to have more utility through that. However, against poke champions like Seraphine and Lux, if this team comp can't get off the ground, it might be an issue for the UOG team, as we see Morgana and Malphite being banned from the UOG team. ARAM Classics full AP Malphite one-shotting the backline. We've seen it before. And Morgana, really annoying, black shield, anti-CC. It's going to give people the ability to snake out of there, and also they probably don't want to deal with the triple root potential of the Morgana's. Ooh.
Looks like somebody has left the draft. Yeah, somebody has left the draft. But
maybe a misclick.
we'll get back into it, as I believe it was somebody from team Bishop Obispos. Maybe they're having some technical issues. Hopefully we can get back on track, and then they're going to be able to speed run through the drafting process. But I think at this time, dude, let's do our usual thing and toss it over to the sponsors. We just gotta keep highlighting the sponsors just for the sake of time. So
I mean, we can't thank them enough.
Dude, of course. I mean, they help run the channel and they also help run the program. So thank you to Glide Path, Guam Army National Guard, the UOG Endowment Foundation, and also Lati Esports and NACE. And special thanks to MacTech, PDS, Geek Out, and GameStop. So thank you guys so much, and also thanks to the viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much to everybody. But since we already kind of locked in what they're gonna play, like we get the idea, right? We saw
Right.
a Ivern, Karma, Rengar. Are they gonna hard focus on a Rengar carry? Do you think they're gonna split up the damage somehow? Because on the opposing team, they have a lot of long range poke, right? But it's very squishy.
Agreed.
Which is
Right.
Rengar's favorite target, things that are squishy. However, Rengar's leap can be stopped by Seraphine's Charm. He can be stopped by the Buster Shot from Tristana, just knocking him away as soon as he comes in.
Right.
You can be stopped by Lux's Snare. There's a lot of things that will prevent Rengar from going in, and maybe instead of banning Morgana, Morgana should have been an option maybe, right? Because if you had
Yeah.
Morgana and Ivern, then you have target access to the bush strat, plus a black shield to give Rengar even more access. In fact, there'll be free access into the back line.
Right.
So that might have been a pick error there, in my
Right. And
opinion.
the thing that was also very interesting is that on the side of UOG, we actually I think they were hovering over Bard last we saw.
Yeah,
So I'm not
another
sure if
support
they-
champion.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if they were if that was the case, like if that was something that they wanted to actually select. But it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, we also might see a little bit more of more AP or more actually. You know, I don't know if attack speed Bard is still a thing. So
It's always still a thing, Ark. It's always
still a thing.
If you believe it, you
Gotcha.
can meme it. And as a Bard
Gotcha.
main, every time I get the opportunity. Actually, you know what? Bard might not be terrible in the situation because he can use his ult to freeze
Yeah.
half the team. Because again, it is one
Agreed.
lane. You're either forcing a flash or something to get away from it, and then that'll give Rengar time to run up and jump on them. So that might be the
I mean,
strat there. Triple enchanter with Rengar, and then Bard can build rapid fire cannon to slow the people who are out of position slightly and then punish them through Rengar, maybe? Perhaps?
yeah, perhaps that could be the case. I mean, we have yet to see the complete draft go through. So until then, I mean, that's all speculation, right? There's still a lot more other champions that I feel like Team Obispo Esports can also select in order for them to counter the current picks from the Team UOG. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. I think that's the only thing I can really say, as we're waiting for I believe the final member of Team Obispo Esports, Team Bishop Obispo Esports, to join, and then we'll be getting right into it. But I think how about for the meantime, since we're going through these changes, how about we also try and go to a small commercial break? That way it'll give us some time to handle these technical difficulties if production can do that. Oh,
And just in case we can't.
and just in case we can, I guess we're still here. You know what? Let's go take a look at the chat and see what's going on. Gandhi, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub, and everybody else who is also a part. Thank you to the 33 viewers who are just supporting the channel. We do see a lot of the members from the teams participating, so we really appreciate a lot of your viewership and also your time. I see. So it appears that we are going to be able to switch now into, I believe it is going to be a small commercial break. So whenever production is ready, I'm ready, you know? That's all I gotta say.
We understand an upside down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
And we're back. Welcome
And
back
we're
to the
back.
UOG Triton Esports channel.
All right. So
Hello.
according to some inside info, we actually one of the players had a brownout, I believe, a small power flux, and now they're just trying to get ready to get started. So for the meantime, we're gonna actually go and review some of the UOG players on the team. I believe we only have how many of them are actually returning? I think we have Maui. I know Maui is returning. Navi is actually also he was a former player in the first UOG team as the support as well. So, and the rest.
We also have
I believe,
Rise, who was a season 1 player. No one will remember preseason, but Rise was there. He's an A1 day 1. He was part of the original Triton Esports. Yeah, he's the original Triton Esports team member. Like back, way back before we had a Twitch channel. Before all of that, Rise was on the team. He even has like the founding fathers jacket. We have the esports jacket, but he has a Triton Esports jacket specifically for the first 5 members. And I think it's like even a hoodie. You get a little hood with it, so that's pretty cool.
That is pretty insane, as I believe that time is taking away my daylight, so I hope this was going to cover it for the meantime. But, you know, shout outs to Rise. I mean, Rise is also the cameraman before that manages our game, so he made a lot of progress. So big shout outs to Rise in the chat, as he did a lot for UOG Triton Esports, as we are now bringing up, once again, the players for Triton Esports. We'd have Haikon, or Haikon, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Moon Princess, Navi, Maui, and then once again Rise. I believe Rise is going to be the mid laner. So, well, technically it's all mid this time, so everybody's a mid laner this time around.
Everyone's playing mid, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Gandhi, by the way. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime, keeping our channel alive. Joining us this program, it's Ryan Escobar. I believe he was Haikon, right? That's one of the new players on the UOG Tritons team.
Right.
Big welcome to him.
Right. I like these little pop-up things, man. It's kind of sick. And we also see Nate Marquez, also known as Moon Princess. We have some small title cards. We're making some moves, man. We're upgrading the production here. Got some production quality on it.
We got to be TV ready, you know. Soon enough, we'll be live broadcasting on TV, because although we can't really play sports right now due to COVID, you can always play esports because it's at home and all nice and safe. Right? If you think about it. And we could play internationally without having to fly any players out. So this is like a very good sports option in this time and age, because you don't need to leave your house. You're nice and safe. And you can compete at an international level without having to do these crazy donation drives and, you know, asking people for money so that you could fly out and participate and take time off of classes. You could still focus on your class, play video games, which is always great for any student, and also learn some leadership roles and how to interact with others. They also have a physical education program that they go through, as well as a mental health program that they work through a very handsome mental health coach. I don't know if you know about it, Ark.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who the handsome part is, but you know, the mental health coach definitely is there to support the team for all of UOG Triton Esports. So we're all here to help develop strong and just more so leading members of society, try to help form them and also make some better players. So if you're ever interested in joining the UOG Triton Esports team or esports team, if you're interested, if you go to UOG, you're more than likely eligible. So be sure to check us out during our tryouts at the beginning of each semester.
Beginning of every semester. So, guys, it's free to try out. Just go for it. We have a Valorant team, Counter-Strike team, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate team, League of Legends team. If there is a video game you're interested in that they're covering over there on the Triton Esports registration, just get in there, try out. You never know. You'll probably make it. And if you don't make it, you could always try next semester when you get a little bit better, you know, get a little bit more skill. You could play scrim games against them. You could join these local tournaments, such as the Triton Esports tournament, the Lottie Esports tournaments, any of the local scene stuff. They used to hold tournaments up at Netopia before COVID, so just get in on the esports scene. Tell your friends, get people excited about this stuff, because this is the future of online sports, and you know, you guys are living it. You guys are living the dream, getting a scholarship to play esports. It's huge. So get in on it. It's absolutely free to try, and at least try. And
I agree. As we're going into the draft, and it's kind of weird because I thought we were gonna be running it back with the same champions, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. As we're gonna be going into a completely new draft, we do have the Anivia pick and also the Renata pick. I actually have not seen Renata in just any League of Legends game, so this is gonna be my first time seeing what Renata actually does. I don't know if you're familiar with what Renata does, so you might have to take lead on that whenever she does something, you know.
she's like a very interesting support. I know how she operates, and I generally know how she plays. I haven't had an opportunity to test her quite yet, but I'm confused at this curveball that they're throwing at us, where they're kind of changing up the team comp. I believe Bunny got changed out for Mr. Dexter EXE, so maybe a sub came in for the Bishop team to replace Bunny, who had a power outage or a brownout of some sort. The show must go on. The game must continue. I'm surprised at the new draft, though. We have Anivia, we have Ahri picked. Probably we're going to see the Lux again, so they're still going for like this very heavy AP comp. This could be punished really hard by like Galio or any kind of heavy engage. We could pick Morgana here as well. Morgana Camille. Renata's ulti basically takes up the whole map as well, so...
It does?
It takes like a huge chunk of the lane. Imagine a Yumi ult, but it's projectile based. It launches like a cloud of chemicals, and everyone inside it gets all crazy and starts beating on each other. It's like she steroids them to get more attack speed, and they start attacking each other. So it's gonna be a lot of chaos this game. If you're not familiar with how Renata plays, it's gonna be very confusing. Like, why are they attacking each other? It's because Renata has her ultimate hostile takeover, kind of gets in the heads of her enemies with some chemicals, and they just start attacking each other. So it's gonna be crazy. We see an Ashe pick on the side of UOG, so they're definitely mixing up the team comp. We thought we were gonna see the Rengar Bush meme, but it looks like we're gonna be banning out Seraphine and Morgana. So 4 Enchantresses banned already. Bans on the side of Bishop still remain consistent. We have Amumu, Pyke, Cho'Gath, and Zyra. Looking forward to their 5th ban.
As technically Team UOG's team has changed drastically, as like how you mentioned, Ivern is no longer there, the Rengar is no longer there, as well as the Karma. But you know, they can still somewhat pick it up in these later picks, but I don't really think that's going to be the case, because you know, when the team comp really just changes completely, I really don't think they're going to stay the same thing.
No, we see a Tom Kench ban as the final ban, which is a very interesting ban there. I guess they don't want to deal with super tanks, so that kind of makes sense. Are we going to see AP Twitch? Okay, this is a very interesting comp coming out of UOG over here.
AP Twitch actually still viable? Wow, actually
it's somewhat viable in ARAM because they're all clustered together.
Ah, I see.
It could be an AP Twitch, it could be an AD Twitch. Either way, it's still good in ARAM because it's just one lane, right? Ashe is going to be good because most likely we're going to see an Imperial Mandate Ashe. It's an old build. It's not
the poke build, huh?
Yeah, I hate it. I don't think it's fun to play against, but so far the engage is going to be Arrow. Like, as far as I could tell from the side of UOG, Arrow will initiate the fight. Camille and Renata can follow up with their ultis and their gap closers. Renata has no gap closers, but you know, Camille has her wall jump thingy, so she will hook shot to the wall, leap off. Renata can follow up with her ulti, and we see a Gangplank pick. Gangplank's also really good in ARAM if you are a good Gangplank player. It's mechanically rather intensive and difficult to play on our ping, so very interesting. Huge switch up in comp.
I think that it's going to be really fun to see how Ryze is going to be playing the GP. As I mean, it does help that he has the Scurvy to kind of cleanse off at least one form of CC, but that's a lot of CC that you first have to dodge, and it's only that small get out of jail free card like that you can use every 10 seconds or so. So
it's longer than that.
It's really longer. Is it 20?
It's a 1 point wonder, right? So you only put 1 point in remove Scurvy, which cleanses CC off you. It removes crowd control skills put on you, stun, silences, suppress. Anything you get hit by, Gangplank can cleanse with remove Scurvy. So it's a very powerful skill. You only put 1 point in it, so early game the cooldown's like 20, 15. It's very long. It's a very punishing cooldown. You can't just be spamming it in lane.
Right, you can't.
However, you do get to jump to level 3 immediately in ARAM, so you will get all 3 skills immediately. Gangplank scales off of gold. He's a wallet warrior kind of champion, which is great in ARAM because you scale super fast. You get passive gold just by existing. You don't have to CS and worry about that stuff too much, so not a bad choice in ARAM. He does a lot of burst damage, but mechanically, again, very difficult to manage. You have to think about your explosive casks, its placements, and using it properly during team fights. I'm a GP main. That's why I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, I know you're a GP main. So like when I saw the GP, I was like, oh, I know that he's ready, dude. He's ready to see how Rise does pilot his GP. Hopefully, we do see some spicy plays. I mean, usually bush tactics with barrels is always fun. And then we also have the one thing that I really did see though is that there's not really much AD on the side of Team Bishop Abyssal Esports, as they went for technically a nearly full AP comp, and the only one who's AD is technically their tank, who's going to be Warwick. So
yeah, and Warwick's not even like a true tank. He's like an off tank, right? But he is like very bruiser, right? Strong. Yes, he's like a bruiser. He is very strong in ARAM though, because there's only one lane, and if one of them gets too hurt, they can't back and heal. They don't have any heal options. So Warwick will always have that blood scent passive running. He'll always be getting that move speed bonus as long as he's aggressively moving towards an enemy champion that's low health. So that being said, and he also has his own sustain. They brought Nami on the side of Bishop as well, so they'll have a little bit more healing with Ebb and Flow, her healing skill. And it's a decent amount of poke, and it could heal up to 2 champions if it goes on enemy, right? So pretty good idea, but like you said, it's a lot of AP. So did UOG have a tank though? I guess the closest thing would be Camille, right? An off-tank bruiser.
Yeah, technically that would be Camille. And the one thing that I also will, we did point out that there was a lot of also engage from the side of Team UOG. But if you actually took a look at Team Bishop Abyssal Esports, you did also see that they have a Lux. They also do have the Anivia's stun is kind of like hit or miss, but that can also cause like a lot of issues, as well as her wall too, being able to block off any of the enemy champions or the enemy team. So there's still I feel like there's still some sort of engage that can be done on the side of Team Bishop. I'm actually not remember. Oh, and the tsunami wave, of course, as another form of engage or disengage. So it really is going to depend on who I think is going to be picked out. I think it's going to be a really who is going to be taking the full brunt of those types of engages, as we're going to be going into the game quite soon. I think I'm not sure if we have like about 30 seconds to a minute left, but I'm excited to see, man. It's going to be the first game.
The Bishop team has a lot of CC at range. So they have Nami's Aqua Prison at the bubble, Nami's bubble, Ari's Charm, the Lux Snare, and the Nivea Snowball, as well as Warwick's Infinite Duress, right, when he jumps towards you and locks you down with the Suppress. So if any of those hit, hypothetically, they could just 5-chain the CC and just kill one person right off the bat. Right. So pretty scary there, if they get caught.
As it appears that we have actually gone into the start of the game, as wow, it's looking a little bit more zoomed in. I think it's just because they've zoomed in on the client, so everybody is out and ready. We're gonna see some wow, they're just Team UOG just charging right in already, as they're waiting for some bush tactics, some bush bandits to kind of go through there. Ooh,
we do see the Arcane comment on Ashe, so as I said, it's going to be Imperial Mandate Ashe. I like Plasma Cutter Ashe more, but that's just my bias,
Right, as how could I forget? They also do have an Ari, so we do have Ari being able to have the dash to be able to go in and then also do the charm. So like I said, bunch of picks. Ooh, that's a lot of damage from just GP already with the barrels. As looks like we're gonna see Team UOG pushing in. As a reminder, it's going to be a best of 1 game until we get the results of both winners for each match, and then it'll be a best of 3.
Looks like we are resizing the client and we're back into it. Yeah, GP in the bush. Very dangerous with the barrel. The barrels have connected. A little bit slow on the combo there. Could be started with parlay, but he did get a parlay and a barrel combo off early on the Anivia. Nice poke here by UOG. The wall gonna be stopping Camille from approaching any further. UOG is just comfortably just hanging back, making sure they don't get caught by anything crazy here. Poking them down with the Ashe volley. They do have a very easy poke to land through Ashe's volley. And I feel like Bishop is playing a little apprehensively. They're kind of scared to walk up, even though they have
like
a lot of long-range CC.
I feel like it's very passive gameplay as we are seeing right now. As they're taking also a whole lot of poke, but you know they have to also remember that they have poke as well. I mean, you have the Lux Singularity, right? You can activate that, get some poke off, as long as you're able to technically try to dodge the Ashe volley. But it's gonna be a hard up. We're gonna see a little bit of a stun, but no real follow up because that's gonna take the. I believe he's just gonna go into range if he actually does commit. So
yeah, they're just kind of camping under tower right now, which
oh, when we see a first blood.
Yeah, nice
I actually don't
combo.
even.
It was a barrel
I don't
combo.
even know how.
It was a barrel combo onto the Ahri, and landed because she's
that
relatively low health. Yeah, edge of the barrel.
Damn, that's
Edge of the
actually
barrel,
pretty
and the poke from Ashe is actually doing work here. She has been constantly volleying off cooldown and getting at least 2 hits in, plus Arcane Comet. Okay, Rise just picks up a free kill there with the parlay onto the Warwick.
Dude, it looks like Arise himself is going to be pretty strong as he's been picking up kills. I believe he has all the kills right now. So when he does go back, technically, the thing that when if people don't know, if they haven't played ARAM, you can't really buy items until you die. So
that was another nice barrel combo there. Not sure if you saw that one, but he hit 3 once again. Bishop needs to just walk up and defuse the barrels. Because if you don't contest the barrels, he's just gonna keep doing that to you. Charm landed, but no follow up there. Yeah, because right now they're just giving UOG a free lane, and they need to do something about it. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Rise needs to get that barrel combo off. They're still not defusing the barrels. They need to just go and hit those. They weren't able to. They're panicking too much. They need to calm down and defuse those barrels. They have 4 ranged characters. All of them can attack a barrel at one time, and GP won't be able to play the game at all. It is literally his worst nightmare to just get diffused. Because you could out-time 1 person hitting your barrel, but you cannot out-time 3 people hitting your barrel at one time. So Bishop needs to just focus and hit the barrels.
I think they just have to go walk up, but I think that when they walk up like that, that's going to be doing a lot of damage. There is also the GP ultimate going through, and there's also another barrel hitting them. Ooh, and it looks like Maui's going to be taking out Mr. Dexter. We're going to be taking out the Warwick. So 2 kills, actually. 3 kills, actually. Going to be going to Team UOG, as UOG is putting on a very dominating performance in this particular ARAM game. As we do see a lot of the arrows going in, they're gonna go and engage. Oh, but it looks like somebody's gonna be going out. It's Shisui gonna be. That's gonna be the first kill going to Team Abyssal Esports, as also the turret. The first turret is gonna be going down.
Yep, the Team Bishop just isn't using their comp properly at the moment. They need to move up. They need to gain some ground, but they've played so passively that they've lost their tower. They have a lot of minion removal. They have a lot of AoEs. They have Lux and Ahri. They could clear these minion waves out and keep forcing UOG to crash the waves into them if they wanted to just chill out and play safe. But UOG's not letting them do that. They're getting poked down by arrows from volleys. They're getting hit by Enchanted Crystal Arrows. Rise is playing very aggressively with the barrels, placing it in front of them, and Bishop's just not punishing that. Maui or Shisui going in again. The arrow coming up, the follow-up. There's Renata's big ultimate, making everyone angry and hit each other. You hate to see the hostile takeover occur, but that's UOG utilizing their ultimates basically off cooldown at this point. Every single time arrow's been off cooldown, Maui has been throwing it, and it's been doing work.
Yeah, he's been able to survive a lot of those engages. I think that he's only died once, and he's the only.
He hasn't died at all. Maui hasn't died at all.
Oh, Maui, right?
Chisu's the only one who died. So-
Shisui.
So Maui's staying super safe in the back, and every time his volley's off cooldown, he'll walk up and shoot his volley. It's a very patterned kind of play that people should pick up on, and he's just,
Can
it's
be
so
avoided.
annoying. It can super be avoided. As soon as you see Ash walk up, you know she's gonna throw a volley, right? So you just gotta play around
Right.
that. The issue is that they're
Ooh,
just
that's
being
barrel.
so hard.
Oh.
Okay, Infinite
There we
Duress
go.
coming in. The wall blocking off Gangplank. He was resurrected, however, by the bailout by Renata. This laser landing onto Rise, gonna be taking him down. Bishop Von Gardner trying to make a comeback right here. They did get their ultimates online. They did finally utilize it, and they are getting items through the passive gold. So things are looking up. However, you got to remember, UOG hasn't gone back in a long time, so that's going to be giving Gangplank a lot of items.
Exactly. So that's what I'm gonna be worried about to see when Rise does come back onto the playing field. He's gonna come back with a whole lot of items, and he's gonna be even stronger. If you thought that his barrels were doing a lot of damage, dude, now you're gonna see the true potential here. As oh my god, look at that damage. As it looks like Twitch is gonna be going down, but there's the GP ult. Oh, and there's the barrels.
Nice. Well,
As
landed.
well
He's
as-
setting up a barrel
ooh.
again. Pop it for moose feed. Auto attack with trial by fire. Should be able to get out. Okay, kind of a
Ooh,
waste.
the
of
Zhonya?
this time stop. Oh, nice bailout there by Navi though.
Wow.
It didn't pay off, but it was a really well-timed bailout.
That's
So-
actually pretty insane.
For those of you guys at home who don't know how bailout works, Renata kind of puts a steroid on a chosen champion. It works kind of like a Zillion ult where you don't die. However, actually it works more like a Scion ult where you get a
I see it.
steroid and then you're dead but you're still alive. You go back in, you fight. If you take down your opponent, you basically get a second life.
As
So it's pretty cool ability actually.
right. So as we are back, I believe that we did have a little bit of some technical difficulties on the stream, but it looks like we are back in action. Yeah, I hope you guys were able to hear the commentary on what was happening during the black screen. So, but now we are good to go.
Another arrow.
As there is the Enchanto Crystal arrow, there's the engage, there's some barrels, as there's a triple kill. Jesus.
Okay,
And then
so they
it looks like Team Abysmal Esports has just been aced, as Team UOG is going to be going for the inhibitor here. None of the members of Team Bishop is going to be up. This is not looking good for them, as Team UOG is just really strong at this point in the game, and I don't know, it's going to be a really difficult time for Team Bishop to come back here. Nope, never. Wait, there's some fight in them left, as they're going to be taking out, I believe that's Navi, who was on Renata. But look at the Twitch. Twitch is in the back.
Oh, Twitch
As,
trying to-
oh,
never mind, he got
there's
compromised. Back to the team
there's two
fight.
different things happening here. As Team
He's really
UOG,
strong.
Team UOG is going to be going down, but look at this. It's not going to be going down without a fight, as also there's going to be the return ace from Team Bishop Abysmal Esports. I think actually Team UOG just wanted to get some items, but you know, they really want to cash out at this point. You know, it's just like Mercs, right? Gotta get that cash out.
Yes, sir. And cash out they did. GP has 11 kills. Okay, super long range arrow. A flash in by Renata. She's not going to do a lot of damage. She is a support after all, so on her own doesn't do a lot, but with teammates, very strong. She did flash in for that, so flash down for Navi for a couple of seconds there. It is ARAM, so it's accelerated cooldowns on flash and the other
Right.
summoner skills as well. Okay,
Uh-oh.
pushing in
There's
very
the
aggressively with Camille. Puts the opponent in the playpen. A lot going on. Nami wave used Renata. Okay, Renata's taunt is just massive. That hostile takeover is so strong. And like I said, it takes up like half the lane.
Right, as it looks like it's looking like the end, but you know what? Rise is gonna be executing himself. Actually, he's
No, he's not. He's
chilling
hanging
right
out.
now.
I think he's
hanging
camping
out.
the respawns. Camping the
Is
respawns.
that what it is?
making sure, yeah, making sure they don't
Oh
come
yeah,
out.
he is.
Great.
Oh my God! Wait, he
Got a
just spawn
triple
killed
kill
them.
off that. That
spawn
is a
killed
lot
them.
of damage. Yeah.
That's a lot, as it looks like Team UOG is gonna be ending this. I think this is where, yeah, they should be cleaning up. It's really difficult for them to come back. as they're gonna probably let the minions handle it. As there we go. That's the game one, the first game going to Team UOG with a very dominating performance. But you know what? Shoutouts to Team Bishop Obispo Esports for you know, trying out and seeing how they can perform against technically our more
I mean, it's a collegiate team
formal,
they're playing against.
yeah, they're more
To be
formal
fair,
and trained teams technically on Island. So
It was definitely a good try. There's a lot of things that can be worked on. UOG has a coach, so you know we have that advantage, and I think Bishop did a great job. They came out here, they played their best, and what more could you ask for, right? And we're all here for the fun of the sport and enjoying it. It's hard to enjoy losing in League of Legends, but every loss is a lesson. So hopefully next time Bishop come back stronger. Maybe play on Summoner's Rift too, because as you know, it's an ARAM match. Gangplank scales really fast in ARAM, like I said, and you know he was given those first few kills and he just ramped up super fast. Anyway, before we move on to the next game, we just like to move into a commercial break real quick. So we'll see you guys in a second. Don't go anywhere.
so stay tuned.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
All right, and it looks like we are back to go as we are going to be going into the next game. For those of you who didn't know, we're actually doing on the UOG Charts and Esports channel, we are actually doing a showcase for League of Legends. We're doing some ARAM games with the local UOG team, well, the UOG Charts and Esports team, and also some local teams that do play League of Legends as well. But for the next game, we're going to be going with Team Dememin. Actually, Team Dememin, or Dememin in general, used to be a part of the UOG team as their former ADC, and actually
he's graduated.
Actually, support too. So, yeah,
he's graduated, so he's no longer on the team. However, he still wants to stay in the scene, so he's out here representing alumni UOG esports team. Really cool to see, actually. Good friend of mine. Looks like they're still sorting their team out, so let's just bring it on down to the bracket and see if you guys missed the previous game, we could see the standings so far.
Right.
In a second here.
Yes, as we're I believe we're still calibrating the bracket, but you know, Team Dememin is going to be going up against Team Mayflower, which also does have very familiar faces on the team, as I believe it's going to be a team I believe Dunna is also a part of that team as well. So that means the former UOG Triton Esports coach for League of Legends is going to be playing on that team. And also the current UOG Triton Esports coach as well. So we're going to see a lot of coaches coming in playing today for this game. And also, I believe, I'm not quite sure, but I think Drea Kupo, a former UOG Triton Esports member or player.
Former player, now alumni. She's also graduated. So yeah, these seniors who were in the original esports team, they've moved on from their collegiate residency, would you say? How would you, tenure? They finished their tenure in college, they've graduated, and now they're still keeping the love of the game alive. They're joining these tournaments with their own respective teams. It's really nice to see them. And our former head coach, Dunna. Shout out Dunna. Back at it again. He's going to be playing in this game as well. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Ark. I think a head coach beats a former ADC player. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a very hard and uphill battle for Team Dememin. But you know what? I didn't see who's on Team Dememin, like who actually is a part of Dememin's team. Maybe there might be somebody of surprise there on that team, but who knows? You know, I'm excited. Whenever the teams are ready to go, I'm happy to get started with the draft. As I'm excited, man. Game 2, next match, going into the draft. Well, we already see I believe that's an Alawi ban. And when I think of an Alawi ban, I think of former UOG Triton Esports player Isak also graduated, also alumni. I think, dude, we just have a lot of alumni, and we have
It's
a
an
lot of
alumni
players.
game.
Dude, it is
Alumni versus
Oh,
alumni,
I like how
basically.
it brightened your day.
pretty
like
much.
Dememin and Isak joined forces to make the Wonder Twins, but
Right.
they named themselves Team Dememin for one reason or another. And looks like they joined forces to try to defeat their former head coach, Dunna.
Right.
Here's a quick picture of them.
As we
Team
do see,
Mayflower.
we do see Kupo, ooh, Asian girl, otherwise known as Joshi, chronic leg pain. It's not chronicle, by the way. It's chronic leg pain. Dunna, and I'm not Russell. A very, very stacked team up against Team Dememin. So even just looking at the first pick, it's gonna be a Yumi pick, and I don't know, man. I don't like Yumis. I'm just gonna say that right now. Yumi is
No
just-
one likes Yumi players, are
Yeah.
No one
Yeah,
likes
I'm not-
Yumi players.
I do not advise, but you know what? You use what you gotta use to win, right? It's a game, right? As they're gonna try and throw it with a
It's
counter.
a resident sleeper game, Mark. We're gonna get healers.
Healing all around with just pokes, and that's it. Right. There is the parasite on one end, and there's the host that is giving to the others. You know, giving her health away.
It's
So-
the Elo parasite.
Yep.
The champ you can play with your feet. It's the one, the only Yumi. Okay, we see a Kaisa pick on the side of Team Dememin. Could be AP. AP always does well early and then completely falls off late. So interesting pick. Ezreal, very standard pick. It's very strong. Lulu also very strong if picked here.
Right. I think
bet
you want to know
Yana
the
is
thing
just
that's
gonna
so
go hyper
funny.
carry. What's so
The thing
funny?
that's actually funny is that I feel like they took away the Kaisa just because they have this feeling that Dunna was gonna play Kaisa. Because I do remember that whenever Dunna did play, he did play a lot of Kaisa back when in the previous semester. So I think that's their way of just taking away without banning anything. I mean, if you look at the bans, they did ban out the cheese snare gang, the cheese snare sisters, otherwise known as Morgana, and also Lux. As we're also going to see a Zeri pickup. I'm not quite sure where the comp is gonna go with Team Dememin. Maybe it's gonna be all ADCs and one support. Who knows?
Yeah, pretty interesting lineup so far. Yeah, it's hard to say. They're definitely going to need a front line to play around, though, if they're going to pick those champions. And the assassin
Right.
will completely destroy their backline. I mean, if we see a Twitch here, Twitch with Yumi
I mean-
Lulu, it's basically Raps.
I mean, Twitch is banned actually on the side of
Twitch fan? Oh,
Team
I
Dememin.
missed that. Okay,
Yeah,
that was a smart
so-
move by Team Dememin. Because Yumi
Right.
Twitch is disgusting. Yumi Lulu Twitch,
Silence.
even more disgusting. Only things you'd see in ARAM, though, you know? The Yumi
You want to know
Lulu
what's
Twitch
the
combo.
one thing that I want to point out as we're getting a little bit of something here, but if we do end up seeing a Nunu pick, I'm gonna just assume that's just Josh here picking it. Ooh, Asian girl running it down with the Nunu. I kind of would love to see that, just because I've experienced it so many times. If he's not gonna play something like Kiana or any other assassin, whether it be Katarina, overall still a very fun time.
Yeah, tank Katarina would. Oh no, they have a Soraka though. Katarina wouldn't be good to pick here because all you had to do is silence on top of the Katarina, then she can't do anything for the whole game. Set, very good pick there by the side of Team Dememin. I believe, yeah, frontline bruiser is very necessary in this situation. J4 pickup from the side of Mayflower for the engage and the access denial with the flag and drag, as well as
Is
a
it flag and
terrain. Yeah, creating a terrain with Cataclysm.
Right.
So it takes up a lot of the
As-
map. And Yasuo.
Right, we do see the Yasuo pickup, but unfortunately, I feel like our screen has been a little bit cropped off. We're not able to really see who's their final member on Team Dememin's team. I believe production is working on it, so sorry for the technical difficulties. We're kind of working on that. as we're gonna see the Jace. It's gonna be Jace from Arcane, gonna be picked up this time around. He does do a lot of poke, but you know what? Yasuo Windwall can stop that in his tracks. As
Absolutely.
if we take a look at just Team Mayflower, technically that is their name, we do see double support as well as just a lot of engage and ADC. Like technically Jarvan is just going to be your frontline tank, as opposed to looking at the other side, we have two ADCs.
He could go full lethality Jarvan too, though, because those guys are really soft. Aside from Set, they're all very one-shottable with AD Jarvan. Like, and if they're one-shottable, dude, you just flag, drag, Cataclysm, one person dies, right? So there's that fun option, and then you could go the boring tank build and use Lulu's knockup, Jarvan's knockup to enable Yasuo as well. Ezreal obviously just gonna do his own thing and play the game, and play Ezreal. Very safe, very strong pick. A lot, it's good escapability with the Arcane Shift. So not a bad comp here on the side of the team with the coaches, Team Mayflower. And on the side of Team Dememin, we have a healer, which I mentioned would be really strong. And they have an engage through the form of Set, and they got a lot of poke, right? Depending if Kai'Sa's AP or AD. That's going to be the only toss-up here, because they don't have any AP unless Kai'Sa goes AP. So we're probably going to see an AP Kai'Sa.
Wait a second. You know what I just noticed is that on the side of Team Dememin, they actually have former UOG Triton esports player yours, the ARAM or king. He is running his Kai'Sa. So this is gonna be really fun. This is actually gonna be a really fun match. It's gonna be, yes, more than likely it's going to be AP Kai'Sa, as technically all you just have to do is shoot your W's. That's it. You're literally just gonna be firing W's from the back, poking them out, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage. But overall, I'm excited to see a lot of other players. I think we did see also Maverick from, I think it was Team OHS, from very previous competitions. So lots of fun, familiar faces indeed, as the timer is kind of running down for like the minute and a half. Is there any other analysis that you'd like to provide for both teams now that you kind of like think about it?
All I think about it, all I can really do is pray for the former alumni of UOG here, yours, Damon, and Isak. Good luck to you guys, as well as Maverick, because going against two of the head coaches, that's gonna be rough, man. They're head coaches for a reason, and they've got a lot of skill. I respect them both as players, so strap in. It should be an interesting game to watch.
I think it's I think this is the time where we just say it's time to type F in the chat. Pray, for prayers to pay respects. Preach
to the voice, the Dememin team.
So I don't know, man. All I've heard about yours is that how good he was at ARAM, and he used to be just an ARAM player in general. So before he even joined the Triton esports team, so it's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna see a very fun match, as you mentioned that they do have both poke available on both sides. So I think with yours having a much longer range poke with the Kai'Sa missile, the Kai'Sa W, I think that's gonna do a lot of damage. But I believe that on Team Mayflower, I believe there's a lot of sidestepping that's going to be going on. A lot of Yasuo win walls that is going to be going on. As far as I can see, for an engage from Team Mayflower, it's Yasuo just diving in and having Lulu just ult. If not,
that would be very easy with access. I mean, literally anyone can flash and just get Lulu ulted. That's what's annoying about the Lulu Yasuo combo, is that Lulu could start that fight. If she decides to flash in, just ult herself, knock everybody up, then Yasuo gets free damage, Jarvan can follow up right after. That probably actually makes it even easier for Jarvan to start, because the flag and drag Cataclysm start is really slow. So you can flash out of that, you can move out of that, no problem. Yasuo dashing towards you, also really slow, right? You're going to see the sweeping blade come through, and you could stop him from coming up to you. But if you flash and knock everybody up, there's like 0 seconds to respond to that if you cast it fast enough. So that's almost guaranteed 3-man. And then Yasuo could follow up with Last Breath, and then the Cataclysm can be layered after. And Ezreal's going to be hitting you for free. So a very scary team comp there to be considered. But, you know, the wild card of Zeri and yours on Kai'Sa are there. They could play at a very long range, very safe.
Right.
So maybe they'll just play the game really safely. We'll find out as we get into the game here.
Right. As we have loaded already into the game, as both teams are going to be just charging right in. I think everybody's going to try and go for some cheeky bush tactics, but it actually, never mind. We're not going to see some cheeky bush tactics here from the side of Team Dememon, as this camera is slowly going out of ARAM and going towards the other end as well. But you know
Just
what?
doing the cinematic view, dude. Cinematic.
Yeah,
view.
we're seeing the slow drag, but there's some damage going on here. So
A little bit of poke occurring, I would say. Oh, it's Her Last Love on Jace. That's my boy Jeff. So
Oh, your
yeah,
boy, Jeff.
familiar faces. Yeah, familiar faces for me for sure. That's
Right.
yeah, a friend of mine, Jeff. He's Korean, so I guess that's why he's playing Jace, because Korea is known for their Jace players. And as I say that, gets completely melted to 25% HP.
wow.
Set
And
force
look at
to
the
haymaker
damage
already. Oh, they're just
oh
in
my
it.
god, there's a trade, and they're just going ham as wow, even Kupo gonna be taking out Her Last Love with the Yuumi auto attack. It's kind of fun. And we got a spicy game.
That was basically a beginning of the game tower dive, as they did lose HP for diving the tower there. Uwu Asian girl, aka Joshi, taking a lot of damage from the tower there. Ooh, nice face breaker there by Set, going in, engaging. Haymaker does land on the side there. Not gonna do the true damage, but trying to chip down the HP of the opposing team as soon as possible. Team Dememon needs to start walking back and poking, because they're getting punished by the very limited range.
Ooh. Yeah, but look at the damage that's
Mayflower.
going out. Yeah, they're also trying to come back here, as technically you could just go sniper Jace here and just kind of like poke out from afar before he does go for the engage. But
Absolutely.
so far, I think that there's a lot of sustain, a lot of healing, especially with the Yuumi. But we can also have Soraka or Maverick try to land some Qs to make sure that she sustains her team as well.
But walking up is super dangerous against this team,
It
because
is.
you could get polymorphed, you could get slowed, you could get poked by Ezreal, you could get flag and dragged by J4. It's kind of dangerous. They have a lot of zone denial on the side of UOG, on the side of Mayflower, just because they have all this movement, and they are kind of allowed to do it for free at the moment because the poke
Right.
champions are not online. Interesting
I agree.
form switch there by Her Last Love. Just kind of makes him a useless champion when he's in hammer form, because he becomes melee. Has to stay in cannon form as long as possible until absolutely necessary. Itzhak, kind of an int. Ran it down into Mayflower. Took a bunch of
Yep.
damage. Okay, we see Her Last Love trying to do some hammer time action on the Yasuo, but you got Yuumi attached.
Oh.
So it's in it super deep. Maverick securing the kill onto that one there, keeping everyone in the backline just barely alive, barely living. 1 HP in a dream for 3 of them. However, Maverick was eventually taken down from that dive.
Dude,
Joshi is just playing this super unsafely. Just
And it was
diving every
crazy
opportunity.
It was crazy because we saw a lot of the exhausts coming out. I think I saw like 2 or 3 exhausts coming out, or even some summoners from both sides. And just looking at it right now, Team Dememon on low health, very, very much struggling to kind of stay alive, as looks like Josh is back with a vengeance, as he's gonna be he's gonna try and get some poke off with with some tornadoes here. As ooh. Oh, never mind. There's the engage. As we have Dunna with the Cataclysm, and there is the ult, the showstopper from Itzhak. But look at that, the Last Breath, and it's gonna be taking them out. It's gonna be an ace.
That was a flash Beyblade there, knocking up 2. Well played by Hayama Joshi. Looks like Team Mayflower is going to take the reset by dying to the tower here. Old school ARAM tactics, although Kupo did end up giving the kill over to yours. The kill from Lulu is going to nobody. So that's actually really huge. Denying a lot of gold there, just taking it away. Basically just dusting it. It's in thin air now. There's no way for Demimon's team to pick up that gold. Very safe play. They're taking the ARAM's tournament really seriously. Very aggressive arcane flux there by Ezreal.
Yeah,
Isaac taking another bad trade. He's in the middle of it. Oh, he's got to get out.
No!
Taken down by Joshy. Yeah, he is living for free thanks to all these shields.
Dude, he's just going in.
He's just allowed to go in. He's got 2 supports on his side. Dana trying to engage. Doesn't have enough damage.
There's the shutdown. As now there's just 2 supports. There's actually, I believe, Russell living on a prayer. Not really living on a prayer. He's living off of 2 supports. Look at the damage. Soraka gonna be also going down, and it's gonna be a triple kill. It's not gonna be an ace because Isaac is alive, but 4 members of Team Dememin is going to be going down, and it's looking like it's going to be the first turret going to Team Mayflower. As wait a second, Isaac going to be engaging, but he's going to slowly retreat. As there's the ultimate.
Those snowballs are being landed. Nice knockback there by the Jace, stopping J4 from completing the combo. Yuumi blowing her ulti. Basically on nothing. This is a good time for Dememin's team to take advantage of the situation. Last chapter was blown. J4's flag and drag was down. Last breath being initiated immediately by Josh here. He's going to be jumping into the backline. Not punished yet again. Another knockup being landed into another knockup. It's the jumping jamboree, fam. They can't be stopped. The head coaches.
They brought the jump house to the game. That's it. And it's Josh with a triple kill. And he's going for more. He's going for blood. He's going to go for the quadra kill. Is it going to be a penta?
He's trying to, but the tower is going to go ahead and take him out real quick. You can't run faster than your supports because then your supports can't do anything for you. Josh just kind of running it, but you know, when you're that fed, I guess you're allowed to run it. Maybe he wanted to go back for items.
For the most part, he did have Yuumi on him for most of the game, so technically he had at least 1 support backing him up throughout the entire ride. As it looks like Yours gonna be taking out Dunna. Yours actually getting a lot of kills here. And wow, look at that. Chronic leg pain. Ian is gonna be living on a prayer. Living with a few HP, but he's gonna heal it right back up. And there is the... It's not Arcane Flux, right? It's True Shot Barrage.
Yeah. True Shot Barrage is Ezreal's ulti, as we see another engage going on here by Joshy.
Last breath.
2-man knockup. And he's gonna be working on 5 here. It's denied the penta. Was it denied?
Is it a penta?
No,
it's not!
Kupo used last chapter to KS the kill there. Tragic. Here on
very tragic. As they are doing this at break speed. Like there's a speed running at this point. This is like only 8 minutes into the game. Already got the inhibitor. I don't think they're gonna be stopping anytime soon. They're just putting on the pressure on Team Mayflower putting on the pressure on Team Dememin. It's gonna be very difficult for Team Dememin to come back from any of this. They're gonna have to get a really good engage here.
Yeah, it's rough because they haven't really been able to poke. Jace has been playing in their face, Jarvan's been playing in their face, and Team Dememin not really able to respond here. Every time they walk up, J4 threatens the flag and drag. Nice
there's the engage though.
Okay, he melts instantaneously, however, and now the Team Dememin has to kind of fall back here. They're just kiting backwards with what they can. Ziri's kind of popping off. Dememin taking down a couple members of Team Mayflower with the double kill, moving on up. Trying to pick up more, however, I believe that's the end of the line for him. Good kiting, but now they're gonna get items. That's the scary thing, right? They're not backing for items, so every time they die, they technically get stronger as long as they've picked up some kind of a net positive trade.
Yeah, it was a good turnaround from Team Dememin. However, like you said, they're gonna be able to cash out. It's the Merc cash out, you know? Get some more items. Get stronger. There's the engage.
Last chapter came out a little bit late there. by Kupo, not able to catch anybody. Dunna is actually super soft.
But
He's gonna be
guess
hanging out
what?
in the back
Guess
line.
who's in the back though? We do have Josh in the back. He gets exhausted, goes for the last breath. He's gonna be going down. It's going to be an all-out jamboree. But Russell with the triple kill, the quadra kill. It looks like he's gonna be
It's the
taking this
penta.
one. And is it the
Wait,
penta? Is this
Was it
is this
Kiss
it?
again? No, he
it's
gets
going to be the penta.
Ezreal pentakill. Yasuo quadra kill. It's
What a crazy game. Yeah, it's a crazy game. As technically we might be seeing a sub at least 14-minute game. I would assume. I'm not sure.
I mean, Dominion's team isn't gonna give up. The Dememin's team won't give up. They've
I
trained
agree.
at UOG, so they're not gonna give up that easily. They're gonna keep pushing. They're gonna keep trying to scale, and anything is possible. Jace just jumping in to the
Wow, look
skies.
at the damage.
RKO into the knockback by Set. Gonna be stunning
Okay.
2 targets. However, here comes the head coaches, Dunna. Oh, my bad. That's not the head coaches. That's Josh and Dunna coming in. A bit of an ego play there. They're kind of running into all of the team. Oh, they ran into all of Team Dememin. Not the best to do there, as all 5 of them die, giving an ace over to Team Dememin. So it's not over till it's over. If they keep
isn't.
making ego plays like that, they might actually lose the game.
That's true. Looks like it might be a comeback play, comeback angle from Team Dememin, as they're going to be taking some turrets here, or actually going to be chunking off of the second turret. As however, look how scary this is. We have Dunna trying to go in. True Shot Barrage going to be going out. Look at the poke. There's the Qs going out. Not going to be able to land the last Q to finish off Jeff, or her last love. But he's looking really low. However, we do have some relics as they slowly retreat back. I think the one thing that's going to be really scary is once we see Josh come into the mix.
Oh
or
yeah.
Basically,
Once they're all
Asian
5,
girl.
once they're all 5 stacked up, it's a wrap. Last time they trickled in and it cost them their lives. This time they're all together. They have all their teammates up. Russell landed a huge poke there onto Dememin. That was a lot of burst damage, just half HP in one shot. Her last love unable to land the shock blasts, the power slams.
Right.
Okay, but they're clearing
So-
the minions. They're making it hard. Ooh.
They are making it very difficult for them to siege these last few turrets for the Nexus. They're putting up quite the fight. Their actual inhibitor has respawned, but you know, they're going to be breaking it down quite quickly, as even though it just respawned. As this might be a engage angle here, maybe waiting for some. Oh, never mind. There it
never
is.
mind.
There's a cataclysm. As we're gonna go towards the back, the Dememin is going to be stuck. Looks like Josh gonna be exhausted. There is also the wind wall. Is he gonna land anything?
Oh,
No, he's gonna be taken out. And this
Last
is
chapter coming in a
this is
bit
what you're
late yet
saying.
again. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what you mentioned.
I know for a fact, because Dunna's a friend of mine, that he's like, I just want to end it already, and he's just like playing hella aggressive to just get
Right.
out of the game. But it's gonna cost you when your team's not on board with it. You have to have everyone on the same page. And look what happens. Trickle in again. Dememin's team moving to punish. Russell's in the backline doing his best with Kupo attached to him. That's actually a
The
lot of healing.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of
he's-
healing.
Yeah,
Look at that
Yumi-
healing. Oh, the
Yumi's
silence though. Oh. That
The
was
silence just stopping
The
them.
silence.
Dememin triple kill. Dunna alone against 2 members, 3 members, and 2
Oh,
more
look at him go
spawning.
though. Look at that.
Offensive.
He's gonna be going and engaging. He does not have the Cataclysm available. It's still a few seconds off, but he's gonna get the shutdown on the Dememin, as it's just looking like Dunna by himself, trying to end the game, as you mentioned. Wait a second, we do see Josh here, as he's gonna be taking out. They're gonna take down 1 turret. As there's a knockup. Is there gonna be a last breath here coming out? No, not yet. But
Everybody's-
Dunna is gonna take out
Everybody's on the
yours.
side. Okay,
Ah.
you know, if they keep running it down, there's a huge chance that Mayflower actually loses this, because they're just allowing the enemy team to ramp. Dememin's team is slowly ramping up. Jace needed the time to get his items in. He's got a full Manamura now, and so does Kaisa. They've allowed them to ramp, and look at Soraka. She's got her Warmog, so the heals aren't gonna stop coming in because she's just gonna heal all her health by being safe with Warmogs. And they've been allowed to get items. They've hit the mid game basically for ARAM standards. Ziri has the weird tank build that you see every now and then with the Titanic Hydra, so that's gonna make her tanky. With Soraka healing her, she probably has like 5,000 effective health. So it's kind of looking shaky. They have to stop ego playing. They have to play as a team. Doesn't matter how good you are individually if you play like you know, you're solo.
True. This is not. It's kind of like looking like solo queue here, but I think they've stopped. I think this might be the final push, as there they are, 5 stacked. However, I think they're really just waiting for some minions here, especially for Josh to go for some sort of engage here. As there it is. There's the engage. Going to be missing the tornado though. He's not going to be able to land that, as they're slowly chunking. There's a true shot barrage. There's a cataclysm. Dunna It's going to be taking help taking that turret, but yours in the back. Look at him go. He's going to be charging in. As looks like, ooh, Asian girl though. Looks like Josh, he's not gonna give up without a fight, and he's gonna be taking out the mem, and there's the last breath, and it's over.
Well,
that's the end of the game.
You know, there was an inkling of hope at a certain point in that game. However, head coaches probably just giving them chance, to be honest. So good to see. GG, right. Well played by both teams there. Team Mayflower taking that one from Team Dememin. Really, that I wouldn't say clean, but they definitely took the game.
Yeah, they definitely had a very strong lead at the very beginning. They pushed a lot. They had a lot of momentum. They kept pushing for it, getting stronger. And I think towards the mid game, I think they were just having a little bit more fun, trying to like make the match a lot more entertaining, and see if Team Dememin could actually come back with a little bit of. So I won't say it's a charitable giveaway, but with some of the mistakes that they have made. However, unfortunately, they were not able to truly capitalize on it. And I think that Team Mayflower is just ridiculously strong as a team.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Dominating force, for sure. All right. So we'll be right back after these messages, guys. Just hang in there. More League of Legends action coming to you soon.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
All right, and welcome back. It was such an exciting match. If you guys are just tuning in, we actually had Team Dememin versus Team Mayflower go head-to-head, with Team Mayflower coming out on top with such a very strong performance. However, they did make the match very fun, so it was a back-and-forth type of match. However, now we're going to see the winners of both matches. It's going to be a best of 3. It's going to be Team UOG Triton Esports, the current Team UOG Triton Esports, versus Team Mayflower, which basically has the 2 head coaches, 1 alumni, and also friends, good friends. So
it should be an interesting game. Do you have any? Well, who's your bet on right now, ArcPulse?
I mean, it's very difficult, just because, you know, we've seen the performance of Team Mayflower being very strong. However, you know, I'm not gonna count Team UOG Triton Esports out just because they have strats. They can use some strats. I mean, like, they can poke out. They can do the poke out comp as they did previously. If that's how they're going to be able to tackle what is going to be going forward for or going against Team Mayflower. So I think if they are able to formulate some sort of strategy, also take advantage of maybe some mistakes, I think that they can turn this game around. However, it is a best of 3. I think we're just going to be we just want to see who's going to come out on top. Whether it's going to be the head coaches, maybe they're actually showing that, hey man, this is the reason why we were coaches. Or 2, maybe the student has surpassed the master, at least for this 1 game or 2 games. Who knows?
That'll be interesting to find out. My bet's on honestly, Team Mayflower looked really strong, but the way they were playing that game was really, really sloppy. But mechanics, right, just raw mechanics wise, I feel like Team Mayflower might take this, but I have high hopes for Team UOG. You know, they're technically both Team Yoji if you think about it, because Team
Technically.
Mayflower has 2 of the head coaches and former alumni. So everyone's a winner here regardless. In fact, everyone who played is a winner because they got to play live on stream on the Triton Esports channel. Tell your friends. Check us out. Okay, so we should get this game started soon. We're just gonna go ahead and move on to the draft phase momentarily. But before we do, shout out to our sponsors real quick, like Glide Path, Guam Army National Guard, UOG Endowment Foundation, Lottie Esports, and NACE. Special thanks to MacTech, PDS Geek Out, and GameStop. As we get into the draft here,
Right, as we should be starting up quite soon, as we do see a little bit some cards here. It's not, that's going to be Team Abismo Esports though. That's actually not any of the teams here. However, we are ready to go, as we do see we're giving them the go here to get started, to get into the draft. No more Uno Mosses apparently. We're just gonna be playing it. So just
Yeah,
waiting
Uno-
on both teams to start.
yeah, the Uno Moss special coined by former assistant coach Quan Plays. It's if you're winning super hard, you throw intentionally so you can have one more fight, and you call that the Uno Moss. Sometimes it goes to a Dos Moss, sometimes it goes to a Tres Moss. But you know what? The one most important rule is can't end on a loss. Uno Moss.
Uno Moss can't end on a loss. That's it. That's really how we're gonna be tackling this. As we do go into the draft, I believe the bands are gonna be coming out from starting off on the blue side, or technically on the left side. You see some bands coming in from
Nice.
Team Mayflower. It's I have not seen much of Vex. The only time when I see Vex is whenever I play TFT, and unfortunately, the Church of Vex is dead, so I don't really see that quite often anymore.
Is it actually dead? Vex isn't good anymore? I remember Vex was
I mean-
super strong when I played TFT.
think
That's so smooch.
I think
Sad.
that Vex was really strong in TFT in the previous set, in set 6, but in 6.5, it's not as I mean, still will be a good, strong front line, but that's pretty much all it is if you're ever going to be playing Yordles. So,
I see.
that's weird. As we're going to be
Actually-
seeing the Yumi band too.
Aren't we gonna see a TFT tournament coming up in the upcoming weeks as well for
I
the
believe
Charter Day showcase? Charter
believe
Month
we-
showcase?
I believe there may be a TFT tournament in the works, but you know, I don't think there's been an official word out just yet. So, you know, stay tuned. Be sure to check us out on UOG Triton Esports on Instagram. Follow us for some news to see when the showcases are happening. You also get to see when our players, our athletes, actually do play in some collegiate games. You get to see their results, as they're making some moves out here. We're really trying our hardest to, you know, expand esports on Guam and extend our reach towards international. It's gonna be fun. It's really great.
The Smash team is doing really well in the NACE games. I've heard from head coach Adrian on the Smash side. They're like 5-1 or 4-1 right now, so they are absolutely dominating competition out there. Guam has a lot of talent. Just gotta find it. All right, so we see the bans here. They've banned 3 of the previous champions played. We see the Yumi ban, the Ezreal ban, and the Yasuo ban. On the side of Mayflower, we have the Vex ban, the Renata ban, and the Nico ban.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Nico tech only can be done in ARAM. We've seen the snowball ulti combo there, so that's definitely getting denied on the side of UOG. Navi going with Gnar. Interesting.
Oh, Nar. We're gonna actually be seeing him be played in the game as a pickup. I'm not sure who's gonna be really playing that. I don't know if they're like all of them are just playing their own like champions, like they're picking for themselves. I don't think there's really any like picks to take away from the enemy team. As we're gonna also see some rumble from Shisui and a Seraphine pick from Kupo. Ooh, it's gonna be some spicy gameplay, definitely on both sides here.
I don't understand the Gnar pick in ARAM because you're not laning. Gnar doesn't get to really be a lane bully. You kind of
Right.
want things that provide immediate results. So picking something like a Malphite would have sufficed. Picking something like an Amumu would have been good. You could just pick something that's immediately online. Gnar has to build a Rage Bar. I'm not sure if it's a great pick in ARAM because there are champions that accomplish his job faster without the requirement of building a Rage Bar.
Agreed. As we're gonna also see the Karma pick. I believe they did pick up. I think we did see initially, if that draft did go through, Karma was picked up by Team UOG. But now I guess we're gonna be actually seeing it be played this time around. As not to forget to mention that Set has also been picked up by Chronic Leg Pain here, and they're gonna be banning out the Nautilus pick. Kind of interesting to see, as I'm not quite sure who would actually be playing Nautilus on the side of Team Mayflower, but maybe they just don't want to deal with a lot of the hook engages. I mean, there's a lot of hook champions that they can also pick up if they ever so choose to. I'm actually going to be wondering if Team Mayflower is going to be going with the same tactic where they pick up 2 support instead and try to just focus on either 1 or 2 carries here. So
I mean, instead of banning Nautilus, you could have just picked Morgana.
that's true too.
But that's the thing with the hook champs is you just completely invalidate their existence by picking Morgana and then playing Morgana well. So could have been drafted instead of Karma, right? To get a long range snare, which is always good, and Spell Shield, which is very strong against things like Set. When Set tries to RKO you, you Spell Shield it, he's not doing anything. So
as we also did see the Twitch ban. We also do see the Victor ban. Both very hard scaling champions. I think that's a lot of threats that they are taking out of the equation against Team UOG, and also the LeBlanc being banned out. However, I do find that very interesting. I know that in terms of the assassin bans or just the very hard engage bans, it's usually Josh who does play those things. But look at that, we're gonna see the Malphite pickup as well as the Azir, so that's gonna be a lot of damage. And then I see my favorite champion. I see Jhin on the other side. Pogo.
Oh, Rise picking up. If he picks up Mordekaiser, that's actually smart. So Mordekaiser could just press R on Malphite, but it's conditional. If Malphite begins his unstoppable force before, okay, that works too.
I guess that works, right?
His R as Mordekaiser presses R, Malphite's R goes through because he can't be CC'd while moving.
Right.
And then Mordekaiser just gets stuck there with no ult because he wasted it on the non-CCable champion. Yeah, so that was actually pretty smart not to pick Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser could have been utilized in the sense that you would turn off Malphite's ability to hard engage by walking up. But Malphite could still like flash R, so you know it's a very skill/timing dependent thing to do if you picked Mordekaiser in that situation. I think it's a lot safer to pick Volibear there. The only issue with picking Volibear is what's your engage gonna be here? Just walking up? Because
just walking up, charging in, ulting in, that's it. That's all we got.
The issue with that is they have Seraphine that's going to stop you. They have Malphite that's going to stop you. They have Azir that's going to push you back. They have Set that can RKO you. Volibear does cancel CC when he goes into God mode and jumps in the air. However, Gnar doesn't. So Gnar is going to have to be a follow-up engage that isn't punished in order for him to like fully be online. Rumble's Equalizer, always good. I think that's a great pickup. Jin's also a great pickup. I'm kind of shaky on the Volibear and the Gnar, but aside from that, I think UOG's team comp is pretty alright. Aside of Mayflower team comp, they have a lot of solid champions that do their job pretty effectively. And, you know, they have the right people on them. They have Russell on an ADC. He was an ADC main way back in the day when he used to play tournaments. I do remember that.
Wow.
Dunna's on Set. I've never seen Dunna play Set in my entire life, so that should be interesting. Kupo on a Enchantress support, which we know her for back when she was an alumni playing for the UOG team.
Right.
Joshy's on the Azir. I do not know how he performs on Azir, but he has played Azir before, and he's a mid lane main, so I expect nothing less. And Chronic back playing on pressing R duty, Malphite.
Yeah, I'm also not quite sure because the thing that's interesting is I believe Rise is also a Azir main. So I'm not sure if that was also a way to just steal the champion away from Rise if he ever so chose to kind of go for that route. I mean, we did see him play GP against Team Bishop Abyssal Esports, so a little bit more mid lane-esque picks. However, this time around, he does choose to pick up the Volibear instead. So it's going to be quite an interesting outcome, as you have mentioned. I do kind of agree with you there. I mean, the Gnar is going to be having such a difficult time to engage in. Yeah, you have to go up against a Azir wall. You have to go up against a, I believe is it Encore for Seraphine, the charm, the ultimate. Yeah. You have a lot of things to worry about, and also just the Malphite ult in general to engage is going to be a very tough time to deal with. But you know what? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see how Team UOG Triton Esports fights against Team Mayflower. Let us know in the chat, what do you guys think? Who's going to be coming out on top? Is it going to be team head coaches, team alumni, and friend? Or is it going to be the current Team UOG Triton Esports? Let us know in the chat. And I'm excited to see. This is going to be it's going to be, once again, best 2 out of 3. So you do need to win 2 matches in order for you to stand out on top. See who's
become the winner.
Who's actually really great or can have some bragging rights as to what team is doing well in this very small scrimmage, I would say. So very small showcase. So
yeah, we'll see. You know what's funny is I believe Hayam Joshi was also a candidate to be an assistant coach for the UOG team way back in the day. I think it was season 1 when he was elected to be an assistant coach. However, he didn't feel like he was cut out for it. He would have been a great player. He would have been a great asset to the UOG team. However, he kind of stepped down from the position for one reason or another. And now he's playing in the tournaments, and he's been playing in the tournaments since, I believe, right? He's always been showing up to play them. So he's also a very familiar face to the esports scene. Good to have him back. I see a lot of familiar faces in chat as well. Shout out to Maverick and Tamulo, former players in the leagues as well, as we get into the game here.
Right. So now we're finally in. We're loaded in. Everybody's just going to be walking in, running it down mid, as technically it's pick all mid. No longer ARAM. It's going to be game 1 of what could possibly be a best out of 3, out of game 3. I don't know. As the snowball has been initiated, there's a snare. There's some damage. That's a lot of damage. Wait, there's a haymaker. As first blood is going to be going to the Malphite, and Russell also going to be taking out Rise. It's going to be a double. Well, not a double, but 2 kills going to Team Mayflower right away.
Yeah, super fast engage immediately, basically there. You love to see comment from downtown. Gonna be taking out Dunna there. Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate to see, as the arcane comment does finish off Dunna. So it kind of not necessarily evens out the playing field here, but you know, a kill is a kill, right? Now we got 2 kills to 1, and now it's going to be now it just looks like everybody just showing off their mastery badges, as everybody's just vibing here on Howling Abyss.
Yeah, they're basically just biding their time, waiting for the next team fight. That was a very good level 1 fight, though. At least it gave us something to cast super early on. I believe the head coach team Mayflower is probably just gonna want to vibe out until they hit level 6, and they could start things get things going with their ulti combos. And kind of the same on Team Dememin, honestly, because Nara isn't really a champion until he's level 6. Rumble doesn't get his equalizer till level 6, so I expect everyone to just chill out, not do anything crazy. And as I say that, Dunna going in for the engage. Gets the face breaker off on Nar. Super aggressive gameplay. Haymaker placed in the middle of the team, hitting quite a few people. Gonna pay for it in health, though. Nice beat drop.
Yeah,
double
very
snare.
nice beat drop. Get that double snare going. Here's Jin with the 4th shot. As there's nobody within execute range, so I don't think that's really anything worth trying to reach for poke. As they're gonna be going for the relic here to get a little bit of healing off. As I believe that also Team Mayflower is gonna be going for a relic as well.
They're just biding their time at the moment here in Howling Abyss. Items haven't been purchased quite yet. It's a little bit too early in the game to do that. If you look at Rumble's item, however, he's building a Leandries.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's going the burn build. So you're gonna see a Leandries Demonic Embrace Rumble. Relatively tanky, however, getting that Lost Chapter, he's losing a little bit of value because he's not getting the mana.
There's no mana. Yeah.
Yeah, but the burn on Leandries is what he's paying for, in case folks at home don't know.
Right.
It's going the double burn build. But it's, oh man, I feel like he could have won the non-mana items instead, just to have a little bit more value early game and more base stats, but I can see why.
Like
he's going
something like
item. I just don't agree
Is
with
it still like Blasting Wand or something like that?
Yeah, you could just straight up buy a Blasting Wand level 1. Just to have a lot of AP early, you know? Just more base stats. Because mana is a wasted base stat. Oh,
There's
huge
the
knock.
engage.
RKO! Oh,
Nope,
the meltations are occurring. Set's still in the backline trying to fight. Okay, Flash Haymaker for no reason. The tower's still
Right.
focused on you, Donna.
It's a double kill.
Yeah, the
Wow.
return kill from Dememben's team.
Oh,
Okay,
there's
an
the
engage
engage.
here by Rice. Wait, it's not Dememben's
Ooh.
team. Oh my goodness, it's UOG Chinese Sports. Oops.
UOG Trident
been
Esports, and UOG Trident Esports is gonna be able to take up 4 kills from that engage. There's the root. Kupo's the only one left alive, but that was a very insane engage from Chronic Leg Pain, otherwise known as Ian. As look at that, looks like they're gonna be inting here, or not really inting, but just gonna be
Resetting.
executing themselves to reset for some
Gotta
gold,
get
for some
gotta get
items. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The level 6 power spike got hit. Malphite thought he could engage on that, but UOG did a really good job of kiting back and not letting them do what they wanted there. It was good area denial by them. They did have equalizer and all that good stuff up, so kind of stopped Mayflower from moving up too aggressively.
Yeah, I think that UOG really responded accordingly upon that engage. I think they really got a lot of value off of that. I mean, with the shields, with the curtain call, with the equalizer all available, and then the follow-up from Rise being able to just jump right in and also secure some kills there. I think it really made a huge difference.
Yeah, maybe this will be a closer game than we thought. Than I thought. Did you think it? Were we all thinking it?
I possibly thought it. I have.
You
So-
possibly thought it? Alright, Gale Force is online for Jin here.
Oh, we do have a Gale Force online already. Crazy.
Yeah. So that's actually really huge for Jin. Is that little extra bit of mobility can help him get out of situations that might not be the best for his health. So it's a good pickup.
Very great.
Oh,
Wait, there's the
curtain
engage.
call.
There's the curtain call already, as they're gonna be doing some damage. But look at them, the big boys, the big boys taking some shields. But Josh is gonna be sniped away with the 4th bullet. Gonna take some damage there, as he was just standing out by himself.
Yeah, not a huge fan of the full health curtain call. As you know, curtain call does more damage based on the missing health. So
Correct.
since they're all at full health, that was basically a waste of an ultimate.
I feel
Unless
like they were
used
trying to
for
go for an engage. I feel like they were trying to go for an engage here, but at the same time, you know, Gnar didn't even have I believe his
rage.
Mega Gnar ready.
Yeah.
And I believe also I'm not quite sure if Rise even has his engage available as well. So I'm not quite sure what the point of the curtain call was, but you know what? Hey, a few minutes or a minute and a half to wait for a curtain call, not really
Come
bad.
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess chip damage, but they are pretty tanky boys. They got Malphite and Set, and they're just big chillin'. Malphite is actually going the tank build. He's not going the for fun AP build, so he's gonna be very tanky. He's gonna go in and engage and stay in the backline and be a problem.
Right.
We don't often see that in ARAM games. We usually see the full AP Malphite. Nice equalizer there. Oh, but
There's the engage though. And the Haymaker, look at the thing that was insane was, however, Jin though, using the Gale Force to get out. Look at that. Look at the turnaround. The triple kill going to Jin as
Nice stun.
Look at the stun. Look at the moves. That's gonna be a flash coming out of Russell. That's a lot of damage. And once again, it's really looking like it's really close. It's actually, I feel like UOG has been just really doing well at responding towards all of these engages.
It's that issue again of where Mayflower is not on the same page. Like one person gets antsy and tries to engage and forces it, and then they just get punished. And here's a
There's the curtain call. But
That's smart.
luckily, he did stop it. He had to stop it because he did see Josh ready and willing to go in. He does not have the wall though, but that would have been a lot of poke damage that he would have taken from the soldiers. So look at that damage. Look at the stun. Look at the moves.
UOG forced back a bit here, but they are doing quite a bit of work here by just
They are.
kind of reacting to the fights. It's been relatively safe for them. Just playing on the back foot here. They're kind of almost baiting Mayflower into going into them because Mayflower's team, the team mates in Mayflower, both Josh and Dunna, they're super antsy to fight. So
Right.
if they start going in without thinking and get punished, it's actually huge. Like UOG is just gonna farm them.
I agree completely. As the one thing I also did notice is that Russell, he's not going an AP build here. It looks like he's going lethality. Not quite sure if I've seen that build on Kai'Sa before. I don't know if you know if there's something new in the meta, especially when you play Kai'Sa, but look at that damage. Oh my god, from Karma. And there's the equalizer being dropped. It's not going to be able to hit like anybody really. So a little bit of a missed opportunity there to execute Russell. However, a good attempt.
But Russell's low health now, so he won't be able to really interact with the enemies. I think that's mathematical Kai'Sa, by the way. Okay, never mind. As I say that, Dunna gonna go in. He's in the back line. Nice encore there, hitting two people by Drea Kupo. Gnar using his Gnar, pushing everybody into the Azir wall, getting a nice stun. There's the synergy you'd like to see. Well played by the side of Mayflower. Oh, Dunna trying to go back in.
Oh no!
Pull off.
There it is! The triple kill.
Yes. Good shield there.
Very insane shield. Very good engage. As Team Mayflower turning it all around. As they're gonna try and go for the execute here. One by one, they're hoping to all fall down before they get killed. But look at that. There it is, man. That's some damage. Ooh, distractions.
All 4 executes. So for those of you guys at home who might like be parents or new spectators to League of Legends, dying to the tower, like what Team Mayflower just did, they walked up to the tower and died to it for free. They denied the gold from going into the pockets of the opposing team because the tower gets credited with the kill, not the players. So they effectively denied 300 gold per person. That's 4 people. 1,200 gold denied.
Look
nice.
Look at us. Rise was just standing there.
25% of Azir's health in one combo. Basically, nice equalizer landing on top of the set. Oh my goodness. Set's health just came all the way back.
Oh, look at the engage from Gnar. Oh, Gnar. As he actually was able to get a 3-man, I believe, a 3-man stun there. But look at the team Mayflower looking pretty low, but so is Team UOG. There's the engage. There is the unstoppable force as Chronic Leg Pain does engage. And oh, one by one, once again, people are just going down, like getting swatted by Russell here.
Yeah, they did get a lot of value out of that, but they did do it after their reset, so they're actually extra strong right now. Clearing the tower out. Everyone on Team Mayflower is relatively low. They kind of want to die now if possible. Yep. There they are trying to walk into the tower, trying to lose their HP, trying to do some damage back to them as the engage from Rise comes out. He's going to be stopped. 2 exhausts being used there. Gnar coming in to pick up a couple of kills. Karma still in the backline, might get caught by that KO, and he does. The AoE still does damage based on your health. Woo, just barely surviving that, Gnar.
And I'm honestly not quite sure. I think they just really want to secure the kill. Look! Oh my god! With a deadly flourish coming out from Jhin, gonna be taking out Russell as very good counter to Team Mayflower's push here. So gonna be also, however it's gonna be they're gonna be getting some gold off of that or getting some items because they did. Once again, it was a back and forth. So I think that just Team Mayflower is going to come back a little bit stronger and ready for a fight. But wow, that's all I got to say.
I mean, WoW pretty much sums it up. I didn't expect it to be so back and forth. Team Mayflower is playing relatively well, but UOG's playing very defensively, and it's been working out for them really well. Malphite only ulting one person here. That's kind of huge because the Equalizer is going to zone out the rest of the team as Malphite gets worked on here by UOG. However, Malphite's full tank, so he's not going to take any damage from that engage. They basically got away for a 1-for-0 trade here. Jin opening up the curtain call, going to be landing 2 shots onto the very low HP Malphite. Can be executed here from this position. However, it will be blocked by Dunna.
Very good block by Dunna. So, as they're trying to siege the second turret or the inhibitor turret. Wait, look at the engage. There's the moves. Oh, wait. Gnar is going to be shut down as he's going to be taken out. But, you know, it's going to be a trade as he's also going to take out Josh. Or ooh, Asian girl. As wait a second.
It was easier to say.
It is easier to say. As Ryze it looked like Ryze is gonna actually engage there. I believe he does have his ult available. The Equalizer is already up.
Yeah, it's like a 30-second cooldown late game, so it's basically a Lux laser that denies area. So Rumble, really good pick in ARAM. Doesn't use resources like mana, so he could basically spam off cooldown. And Equalizer very strong, so good pick there on the side of UOG. Very intelligent pick. Looks like both teams electing to vibe out, not fight each other for a moment.
Yeah, this is gonna be a much more intense game, and it's gonna be also quite a longer game. I think we might be looking at a 20-minute game. Or who knows? I'm not even quite sure what the timer's at. It's actually almost at 15 minutes. So yeah, there is the engage. As Set gonna be pulling in Ryze or technically Dunna. Oh, the 3-man knockup by the Unstoppable Force, as well as the engage, the encore dropping down by Kupo. Kupo taking out some kills, and also Dunna. And there's only one member left, and it's going to be an ace. Looks like Team Mayflower is going to get a lot of value out of this one, as they're going to break the inhibitor turret as well as the inhibitor, and this gives them the time to go for some execute here, as chronic leg pain having to take like 6 turret shots before things happen. But look at the damage. Wait, look at the speed that they're going.
Yeah, they're all very strong at this point. They probably should have committed for that turret because they're gonna reset anyway.
I agree.
But I respect the tenacity to try to stay alive. They want to do as much damage as possible. We see another exhaust come down onto Russell, and that completely counters ADC's triple kill by the Rumble. Well played by Team UOG. They're trying to keep it alive. They're staying alive, man. They're staying in the game. They're only 4 kills down. However, the tower push is definitely going to hurt them. Super minions will be spawning shortly here. They will be tankier and harder to kill to the tower. Gnar walking up, taking a lot of damage. You know, I might have underestimated the usage of Gnar here, but as you can see, Malphite landing the free 3-man knockups periodically, it's a lot more reliable, a lot more easier, a lot more easy to execute.
I think though, like you know, the gameplay with Gnar though is, I feel like so far Navi has been responding accordingly. Whenever he does see the Unstoppable Force happen, it does bait, or not bait, but it does encourage Team Mayflower to follow up with the engage of the Unstoppable Force, which does kind of leave Navi with an opening to engage as well and go for his. I'm not quite sure. Is it called just the Gnar? His
Gnar,
ultimate?
Exclamation point. Yeah, Gnar.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually the name of the ability. Oh, nice jump. Dunna. Mistiming the face breaker there.
You're right. As looks like, wait a second, Josh is kind of oh wait, there's the Unstoppable Force. And there it is. There's the disengage. However, looks like Jin is going to be going for the Gale Force. He's in trouble. He's going really low, flashing in with the Haymaker, going to be taking out Hycon, as they're going to be going for the Nexus. They're going to be taking it down. It's going to be going to game 1 to Team Mayflower. What an insane engage.
Yeah, it happened so quickly and ended so quickly. You know, kind of leaves you speechless. But the thing with Gnar is he could get pushed back as soon as he lands. So Emperor's Divide going to be pushing him out of the fight. If you picked Malphite there, that wouldn't be an issue because as soon as you're in with Malphite and you just get your combo off regardless. The Gnar, however, did land some very value alts, so I'm not gonna knock it. I feel like he did a pretty good job there. Even though I feel like there were better champions to be picked, I feel like he performed very well on Gnar. Rumble was played correctly as well, abusing the low cooldowns and no resources. Generally a good game.
I do agree with you there. There was definitely a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of promise coming from UOG Triton Esports, as I really felt like they really put up a fight against Team Mayflower. However, in the end, it did seem that just Team Mayflower just stood out a little bit more. But you know what? I think that's pretty much it for the analysis. We're going to be going into the next match quite soon. But before we get into the next match, let's go take a short commercial break. So stay tuned, as this may be the last commercial break, and it may possibly be the last game. Who knows? We'll see. Stay tuned.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Triton Esports channel. We were just watching the best 2 out of 3 match between UOG Triton Esports and the team Mayflower that they've both worked their way up to this Charter Day month tournament, and we're going to get right back into it as it's Team Mayflower, a 1-0 right now against Team UOG. The draft is well underway. We see Renata Glask getting banned immediately, Yuumi getting banned as well. They have switched sides, and it's a fresh game. Let's see what their draft is going to look like this time.
Right, as it does appear that they have swapped sides, and it looks like they're gonna be banning similar things. I mean, the Yuumi, the Yasuo, they definitely don't want to deal with that on Team Mayflower. But the Renata also, as well as the Vex, I'm really curious as to seeing who actually plays Vex on Team UOG. Because I don't think I've really seen the full potential of what Vex can really do. But we're going to also see the Ezreal ban. Going to be taking that away from Russell, as Russell did play it in the previous game. Actually, not the previous game, but the previous match before this best of 3. As we're also going to see a Neeko ban as well.
Yeah, gotta get those comfort picks out of the way. We see the Yasuo ban for Josh. Team Mayflower must know what they want to play, because the Vex, Renata, and Neeko ban has been consistent. Kind of interesting. I don't know who that's targeting.
Right. But look at this. We're going to actually see the Twitch pickup, though. So Twitch pickup on the side of Team UOG. I think that's
Twitch is very strong, and as a late game champion, you get extra benefits in ARAM because you scale really quickly. You get a lot of free gold, and just existing gives you gold. Your XP goes up a lot quicker. Your cooldowns come up quick. Your summoner cooldowns come up quicker. So as a ADC, you're punished a bit less. So it's pretty cool to see. But we see Twitch. We see Seraphine. Yet again, probably going to Kupo.
Right. And now, we're gonna also be Jhin. I love seeing more Jhin gameplay, but we're going to be seeing it on the side of Russell, or Team Mayflower, in this sense. As we see Navi picking up the Braum. As Navi is a support, he actually does. I do see him playing a lot of Braum, so I think this is going to be exciting to see. I think Braum might be his main, if not like one of his picks that he does.
Braum is an excellent pick here, Ark, because you're going to be blocking Seraphine's Encore. You're going to be blocking the 4 shots from Jin's curtain call. You can basically stop everything on the enemy team right now with Braum alone.
Right, and then we're going to be seeing some box gameplay. We're going to see the Riven pickup. I'm not sure if it's box or Adrian Riven here. But you know what? It's going to be interesting to see, as we do see the Nautilus pickup from Chronic Leg Pain. I do remember that Ian does love Nautilus as well.
So maybe that's who they banned it for last time.
Right. as this can be very fun. I think it's gonna be a fun match. They're gonna ban out the Morgana, so you just like how you mentioned, if you want to just counter hook champions, pick Morg. But now that's off the table.
You must be listening to the casting and getting some draft IQ from your boy, because
True.
yep, that's definitely. Actually, they have Dunna and Russell, so I'm sure they have their own draft IQ over there. But yeah, if you're gonna pick a hook champ, you definitely want to ban out Morgana or pick Morgana. Looks like we had a little bit of a disconnect. Guam electrical infrastructure just isn't it today. It's probably another brownout. Hopefully they find a sub or they can get back into the game very soon. However, you know, ArcPulse and I are here, so don't you guys worry. Last game we saw a very close game between UOG Triton Esports and Mayflower to catch you guys up. It was relatively close, wouldn't you say, Arc?
I would say it's pretty close. I think just because there was a lot of back and forth action. There's also back and forth aces as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really fun first game. However, the first game did go to Team Mayflower, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to run away with the second game technically without UOG putting up a fight. I really do see that UOG has really put in a lot of work, and also being able to respond accordingly to how Team Mayflower has been engaging upon them. So I think it might be a little bit more on champion diff. I don't know if they're gonna pick specific champions that may spice things up between them. I don't know, and maybe they might not be able to be prepared for it, but we're just gonna have to wait and see before we get into the draft, as I believe we're just waiting for one more player to come back online for Team UOG.
I wonder if it's going to be same picks or if they're going to do that thing where they ban and pick different rosters again. Because what was that game? It was Bishop versus UOG, right?
Team UOG,
they kind of re-rolled the team. So if they do get a sub, I wonder if the team comp's going to change up. Because we did see Seraphine picked again. Seraphine, a very strong champion in ARAM, due to the fact that her ulti basically takes up the whole lane.
Right.
We're just trying to get into game 2 right now, but let's take a look. All right, it looks like they're still kind of caught up. It might have been a brownout yet again, unfortunately.
But we live on Guam, and you know brown tree snakes do exist. So fortunately, we have to deal with that.
That would be so unlucky.
I mean, isn't it technically like, do we call it a brownout just because that's brown tree snakes, or because usually wouldn't it be called like a blackout, or is it just
a blackout's when the power goes out? A brownout is when the power dips.
So it's like a power flux.
Yeah, like a power fluctuation when everything, you know, the lights instead of being bright go brown. You know, dim a little bit and then come back on.
Okay.
I get reset your router. That could damage your PC. It's really scary actually for us PC gamers, because if you don't have a good up system, it's gonna fry your computer. Very scary stuff. But hopefully, whoever did get power dip will be okay and will come back online soon. But until then, thank you to all of you guys who've come out to support UOG Triton Esports. Be sure to tell your friends. We're having a whole Charter Day month. Every week every week of this month, we're having events from notable esports players esports players on Guam that have played in several tournaments, and maybe some new faces here and there. And you'll also see the UOG teams play in these showcases and matches. And they're all for fun, and they're all free to join. There's tons of prizes you can win, and who knows, you guys might be the next winner. So be sure to sign up and give it your best shot. The next time, I mean, you could check us out on Instagram, and you could check us out on the UOG official Discord as well, and you guys could register through that. If you still don't know how to register, you could hit up any of the coaches or the players. I'm sure they'll be willing to help you out.
Definitely. You can also contact us, as we are also affiliated with UOG Triton Esports. And looks like we're going to be going straight into the draft, as they've been speed running. I think those are just highlights, aren't they? I feel like they just hovered over. So it looks like
they're probably hovering it.
So it looks like they're going to be speed running the banning phase, and I believe they're going to be staying with the same picks for both teams, hopefully. As I do want to see Navi play the Braum, as well as I believe the Jin is my favorite pick, so I do want to see more Jhin. That's all I gotta say.
Braum is in a really good position here. Just picking Braum is really strong into double skill shot early. Denies a lot of the poke. So very good pick by Navi. Good drafting. You see two range characters that have impactful long range ultis that can shut down the lane, and you pick Braum. Super smart.
Pretty much. As I think that Team UOG here is taking their time, just because I think they're trying to remember what they last picked. I honestly don't remember what they last picked because I do have the memory of a goldfish. So hopefully they do remember what their last pick was in terms of what Shisui is going to be picking.
Double engage or double support. Braum Leona.
I think it's not necessarily different picks. It's just because Shisui was not... I don't know if Shisui was second pick, actually. I think because Rise was the one who picked up the Riven, I believe.
Oh yeah, they're in a different pick order now.
They're in different order. They're actually in different order. Yeah.
Riven was supposed to be in there somewhere.
So I feel like the reason why they didn't select it is I'm not sure if they actually have the champions. I don't think they're able to trade completely. So I mean, this is them kind of exposing their full roster too. So not sure if they are going to be staying with the same picks. I don't know if UOG was able to pick up on that memo, but you know what? Looks like Team Mayflower is going to be sticking with the same picks, at least the first 3 picks. So we got some consistency there, as we're kind of just going to be waiting for the rest of the bans and the picks here to come out for game 2.
Yeah, not picking Riven is actually really, really good because Jhin will eat through a Riven, but you can't really eat through Leona and Braum as Jhin, because Jhin does burst damage, and Leona and Braum prevent burst damage by having a lot of armor. That's kind of unfair to the Jhin player here, because now you got 2 super tanky supports that can kind of just sit on you and not let you play the game for a very long amount of time, because Braum's gonna CC you, Leona's gonna CC you, and you know what? Mordekaiser could also pull you into Shadow Realm and CC you. Agreed. So kind of unlucky rubber ducky here for the Mayflower team.
Technically, they're running the bodyguard comp on the side of Team UOG. For you TFT players, we do have the Braum and also the Leona, so that means extra 100 armor, but maybe not in this game. Yeah, so we're not gonna.
It was Twitch. It was Twitch and Riven on the side of
Twitch
UOG.
and Riven.
Yeah,
there
and they're both really weak against Jhin. So, not seeing a Twitch and Riven would be kind of BM, right? Because I would understand, however, if Leona and Mordekaiser were picked for the other teammates, right? And we still see Twitch and Riven. That would justify this. That would justify
this. I agree completely. So, pretty much that is what we're going to be expecting to see. If Team Mayflower actually takes advantage of that, that means that they have technically exposed their entire team. So that Team Mayflower does have the advantage to counter pick accordingly if they do stay the same champions. As we're gonna see a Vi pick. Oh, it's also Vi from Arcane gonna be picked up as well, so that's fun. So we haven't seen.
Oh,
there it is. There's the Riven. It should be the Twitch. There we go. Everybody's
hold your horses. Hold your horses, guys. It's just different pick order.
Consistent. Yep.
Staying consistent. No switcheroonies. I get it now. Because Hycon and Rise are up there, and I'm pretty sure they just messed up the pick order. It probably confused everyone, and it even confused us, but look, it's all good. Everyone stayed the same. So Jhin will still get value this game. Put your pitchforks down. It's all good. We're going to get a victor pick. Interesting. Okay, so the objective of this is how are you going to chew through Braum and Leona?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be just Victor's job to do that. Vi can peel and also engage onto the Twitch. Probably going to be engaging onto the Twitch and stopping the Riven with CC. So I could see the draft there.
But then you also have the Mordekaiser ult, who can also take out a lot of the engage from the side of Team Mayflower. So it really is going to be dependent on how Maui does respond to the engage of Team Mayflower here. As we do see, once again, on the side of Team Mayflower. We have two characters from Arcane. We do have Vi, and then we do have Victor. So it's gonna be spicy to see, along with Jin, Nautilus, and Seraphine. Gonna be
Dude,
running
everyone.
a little bit of some Ginnovators here, you know.
Ginnovate.
Sorry,
It's a
sorry for
TFT.
the. Sorry, it's the TFT comp. Okay, you know, I gotta refer to my TFT stuff because that's all I really play anyway. So. it's all-
Arc Pulse
it's all, man.
TFT Masters, you know, he has to be flexing on stream. Weird
Hey, man,
flex, but
we gotta-
okay, Arc.
We gotta stay flexible, dude. That's how you get good.
Gotta stay flexible in TFT. I see what you did there, because playing
Hey.
flex in TFT is playing different boards based on the item units and items you get. Very good pun. For those of you who don't get it, it's kind of hard to grasp if you don't play TFT, but it was really good.
Sure.
The wordplay was there.
There you go. But I'm excited to see how this turns out. I think the one thing that's going to be really difficult, especially on the side of Team UOG, is just being able to engage. I think just because, I mean, you do have the Leona engage, you do have the Solar Flare. However, you're going to be lining it up for just the Seraphine ultimate, the Charm. That's something that I feel like UOG has to be a little bit more wary of. However, it's going to space them out if they're going to try and engage. And also, you have to deal with the Vi engage as well. You have to deal with the gravity field. So there's a lot of things that they can both do to disengage or to counter each other's engages. I think it's just going to be on how are they going to be following up and how are they going to position themselves in this time around or this match. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Victor's kind of burst magey, so unless he's going the Leandri's build, I'm not quite sure how they're going to shut down Leona and Braum. Because if Leona and Braum are able to get to late game, they're just going to be unkillable and really annoying. And they might just burn you to death with Sunfire Capes. So there's always that. Because in one lane, you have to block the Glacial Fissure that Braum is going to drop, and you have to dodge the Solar Flare that Leona is going to drop. So that's two huge CCs taking up a big part of the map. Then you got to deal with Mordekaiser trying to take you out of the game too. So it's going to be really rough to play the game in a late game situation, especially once Mordekaiser gets Zhonya's Hourglass and can just hold somebody hostage if he wanted to. Right? Because then Riven can run rampant in the back line, and Twitch can... I swear though, as soon as Twitch comes out of Invis, he's gonna be melted by Vi, because you can't really stop Vi from going in once she uses Assault and Battery.
Definitely agree with you there. So, like I said, it really is going to be on how well they respond to each other's engages. So far, I believe that Team UOG has responded well to Team Mayflower's engages. I think also on how they're going to be positioning Twitch. I think you talked about it a little bit on how Twitch is going to be engaging, especially towards the backline. How to be able to tackle on a lot more of these squishier champions. But hey man, Vi can counter if that's the case. Vi can counteract with Twitch, being able to use her ultimate to, I don't know, subjugate an actual word. I don't know, to stop Twitch basically. Right?
Yeah, to
Did I
stop
use that
Twitch,
right?
to suppress. No, but you could use it to suppress Twitch.
Suppress, okay.
Yeah.
It was an S word, dude. That's all I thought. I thought it's either stun
It was
or
close.
suppress.
Yes, stun works,
I'm
suppress
I'm
works.
not an English major, you know.
Stifle
So-
works as well. There's a lot of
Stifle.
words that could have been used. It's okay, vocabulary time with administrator.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I need a dictionary, you know. That's all. But it looks like we're gonna be getting into the game. Who knows if this is going to be the final game? It's game 2 with Team Mayflower up 1 game, and then it's going. But who knows? We might see a game 3. Don't know. Team UOG not gonna be counted out just yet. Putting up a fight as everybody's just being chilling.
Oh, there's no early game bush fight this time. Although we
but
do
then
love
there's
to see
some.
that. A little bit of
some
scrapping,
poke, though.
little bit of scrapping, just a small tussle.
Very cool. Very sick.
Does Chronic still have hook? Because this is a free hook opportunity.
Pretty much.
The usual BM. Okay, laser lance. That's free stacks for Victor.
Ooh. Oh, he does get stacks every time he lands an ability. Is that right?
Yeah. Every time he uses ability the way it's supposed to be used, it moves up towards his evolution. Because he used to have Hex Core, which was a not fun passive, but now it's good. Oh, Vi just jumping right into it, but that's a lot of CC on the side of UOG. He made that mistake, and he definitely paid for it there. Exhausts are coming down. UOG taking full advantage of the situation. Mordekaiser getting super deep. Twitch getting an. Is that another kill by Twitch or?
Oh wait, there's a
still doing it. Oh my goodness, it's super aggressive.
Wait, they're just going
Power
ham.
diving. Okay.
As there's 4 kills, just 4 kills going to Team Mayflower and 3 kills going to Team UOG. Team Mayflower coming out on top there. So
They were in such a good position, and then they just kind of threw. They went a
Yeah,
little too
pretty
aggressive there because they just won it. All they had to do was chill. You know, they were a kill or 2 up. It was looking really nice, and they just decided to send it. Not sure what they were thinking there.
yeah, I'm not quite sure either, but I think they were just going for some fun. Ooh, good pull.
Yeah, nice hook there. I didn't know Maui played Mordekaiser actually.
Another Mordekaiser main coming out from UOG Triton Esports. I mean, we had Isok.
Yeah, he's
playing,
going the boom build too because he's got the Hextech alternator. Boom hammer build.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the T1 hammer slam down?
It could also be the Protovault though.
I see.
Right? Hextech alternator builds in the Protovault, I believe.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. As we're gonna see a rake coming in.
This is a free
but
hook. Oh my goodness, chronic leg pain.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the hook here.
There were like a million free hooks to be made there, but I guess he's playing a little bit safe because both Braum and Leona don't really care if you hook them. But that was Maui in the bush and looked kind of free. I'm not sure. Maybe he saw something I didn't. But both teams
I
playing
agree.
super safe. Okay, there's the hook. Watanabe.
There's the hook. There's the engage. There's the gravity field. There's the exhaust. All of these damages coming out, but it looks like Rye's gonna be taking out Russell with his Riven. Oh, but then there was the
huge.
charm. That was a huge
Man.
charm, but they
No
didn't
follow-up.
actually follow up.
That was a nice 5-man. You know, but there's 5 low health players now. And that's gonna be
True.
trouble for the UOG team. Okay.
Yep, there it
First kill
is.
going to Uru,
Oh.
Asian girl. Nice. Cleanse does
Oh.
not work against that. Unfortunately, I was about to say nice cleanse, and then I was like,
Ooh.
that's why. Cleanse does not work against assault and battery by Vi, her ultimate. Good try, but that's not how that works.
And it looks like chronic leg pain is taking a
He's
lot
just
of
taking
damage
free
here.
damage.
He's gonna take free damage, but that's gonna be a trade. Actually, a lot more value going to Team Mayflower here, as they're still chunking away at the turret. There's gonna be some shutdowns going on. Look at the Twitch engage. There's a solar flare, triple kill going to Hycon.
Yeah, that's a problem. Twitch is a scaler, and if he gets a lot of kills, he's gonna do a heck of a lot of damage here. Definitely something to look out for, and they are giving him all the farm as well, playing it like an actual game.
Dude, he
UOG in
has 26
serious mode.
CS right now.
He's popping off on the CS department. Chronic leg pain, kind of getting a little too antsy there, kind of hooked for no reason.
Ooh.
Hook is
kind of
useless
looking
without
pretty low.
teammates.
Oh, curtain
no.
call? Wait,
Bomb's
curtain
shield
call
isn't
straight up? But
Yeah,
wait,
but-
Maui with the flash ultimate, he brought him into the death realm. That's actually pretty insane to stop the curtain call. And look,
Oh.
there's the rake gonna be coming out as Team UOG. Oh,
Nice.
wait a second. Ooh, Asian girl gonna be getting the double. But then there's still some engage here. Rye's gonna be having to flash out, but look at the Braum. Wait, Braum actually go down? There it is. There's a triple kill.
Oh,
Going to,
Riven.
ooh, Asian girl. Oh my god.
Riven got into the backline, but was not able to execute Josh there. He's gonna pick up a quadra kill.
Quadra kill. Yes, and as chat has mentioned, it is Victor from Arcane doing some work, but he's gonna get shut down, and the rest of the members of Team Mayflower, who was very low, is also going to be executed there, or just gonna be taken out. As
Which just got
they
a
are going
double
to be able to
kill.
cash in.
He's got a bunch of gold. He's got a Kraken Slayer online already. He's gonna want a Hurricane, and he should be good to go, basically online.
Pretty much. As it's still looking pretty even. I think there's a we're gonna see a game pause. Not sure what happened there. I'm not sure if one of the players did disconnect. As I guess we're gonna be waiting for them to resume the game. But until then, hey, you know what we haven't done in a really long time?
What's that, Arc?
Shout out our sponsors. Yes, sir. Shout outs to Glide Path, Guam Army National Guard, the UOG Endowment Foundation, Laddie Esports, and NACE. And special thanks to MacTech, PDS, Geek Out, and GameStop. So, and also, once again, thanks to everybody else who is viewing the channel right now. It really does help us a lot, just because one, it just goes to show that you love the game and you love to support the local community. So, hey man, we're always looking forward to seeing also people compete in tournaments. So if you're very much interested, we have a bunch of tournaments on Saturday this month alone. So if your game does pop up, I suggest you join. I believe we do have, next week, we do have a Valorant tournament coming up. Put together a 5-stack. Might be a fun time.
And Friday is the CSGO 1v1 tourney, so be sure to check that out as well. Going to be casted by Shadow Gaming. Some of you guys might be familiar with. Very famous caster on Guam, so be sure to check that out. And, you know, it's absolutely free to join. You should definitely do so. Looks like we're getting back into the game here.
Right. Looks like we're going to be continuing the game now as a... Oh. It's a very small pause. Maybe you have to press the space bar. Not sure. I think we've had this before. Where things just kind of stay paused for the meantime. Pause, champ?
Oh no. Riot Games.
Oh no.
Did
I
we
can't
break-
say Onar
did we
because
break
there's no
the
Nar in this
replay?
game.
Oh, okay. We didn't break the
Oh, there we
replay.
go.
Let's go. Okay.
All right.
Thank goodness. Sometimes, you know, Riot's a small indie company, so sometimes the replays kind of break when there are pauses, but luckily, no breaks today. We're going to keep on coming on.
True. We're going to keep on continuing as, you know, Team Mayflower being able to take one turret away from Team UOG. I think that they're really putting on the pressure as Uhu Asian Girl, trying to also get a lot of the hex cores up and running by landing the laser. So, is that the Q? That's an E actually, right? That's an E.
That's an E.
Laser. Yeah.
Death Ray, I believe it's called.
Death Ray, dude. Oh my god.
Okay,
Wait.
good poke there.
There's a
Engaged
gauge.
by Leona.
Fire. Okay,
Oh,
and also
here
I
with the
believe
charm.
we did see the charm come out. It looks like they're gonna be running away though, but look at this. This is gonna be the
Critical.
curtain call. Russell gonna be dropping it in as that's gonna be saving the remaining members of Team UOG with the relic. You're gonna be getting that extra health. I'm not sure if.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
look at this. Rise. The engage.
He's dove in.
Oh,
He's trying to take
the
down as many people as he can. The tanks are just wailing on the other tank. Okay, you know what? Not bad there by UOG.
That is
Vi
pretty
did get
insane.
into the back line, but he wasn't able to eliminate Twitch right away. And even if he was on the Twitch, the rest of the UOG team managed to peel the Vi off before anything too terrible happened there. And the
Right.
catch on Victor was really big. Okay, that might be a kill. Yes, it was. Sunfire
Looks
Cape
like-
making the tower aggro onto the
Uh-oh.
Leona there. Ooh, but he's going to be taken down by the Riven.
Yep, with the stun. Looks like we are seeing some box gameplay here. And if he's seeing somebody play or queue up the what is it called? There, it's that Nightcore music. There we go.
Oh, nice root. Okay, panic
Very
shield
nice
by Braum.
deadly
Nice.
flourish.
Stand beside me, used to dodge the anchor there. Dredge line there by Nautilus.
Mm-hmm.
Well played. Twitch does have 2 items now. At 3 items, Twitch becomes an absolute demon.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be I think he's just gonna be waiting on the fissure, the glacial fissure to be coming up. I do see that it is gonna be up quite soon, as it is up now. We do also have Maui
Oh, big
waiting
stun.
on his ultimate. Ooh, but look at the locket. I believe they have a locket. Is that what it was? I saw the
Yeah, Braum has an Iron Locket. So he did shield his team.
Oh.
Flash engaged by Leona, but she fails it! A lot of
There's a
damage coming down.
corner.
However,
That's a
all
lot
the
of
CC
stun.
was used. Oh, Riven got
Oh, but then
eliminated
this
in the
is-
back line.
This is not looking too good though for Team UOG. Look at the damage. Vi also putting in some work. The triple kill going to Russell. And there's going to be a shutdown as they're going to be sieging this turret. It looks like it's going to be also an inhibitor as well. they're trying to speed it up here with Team Mayflower, as Chronic leg pain gonna be getting the actually he's not gonna get an execute off. He's gonna be slain to Icon. So more
Yeah,
money for
poisoning wasn't
Twitch.
enough. Oh, double kill going into Twitch. Okay.
Double kill.
Get rich, get
Uh-oh,
rich.
this is
Vi. Yeah, Vi gets picked off. They weren't able to take the inhibitor. I feel like they should have taken the opportunity to get the inhibitor there. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Maybe not the
Agreed.
play.
Yeah, I think that they were kind of overstaying their welcome, not really focusing that much on that. But you know
They
what? They
were
got
split
hurt.
between the reset. They were like, either we reset here or we take the inhibitor here, and then half the team did one thing, half the team did the other thing. So
Agreed.
a bit of a miscommunication there by Mayflower. That's going to set them back a bit because they weren't able to get the inhibitor, which means they're not going to get super minions to push down the lane with them.
I agree. As it looks like we're just gonna be fighting along a little bit of the middle of Howling Abyss, but Team Yoji's slowly retreating. They're kind of giving more space for Team Mayflower to continue their push. And look at the inhibitor; it's literally just a quarter of its health till it's been broken. So
Honestly, it's better if Team Yoji has more lane space to play with anyway, because they have Leona and Braum. They want to
Right.
creep up onto them and like make them engage onto them, and either play a peeling game. Braum should definitely be on peel duty for Twitch. Leona can engage with Riven Mordekaiser, right? And you could even make it so that everyone has to peel for Twitch here. It's just a game of patience, and Yoji is slowly losing health from Victor's poke. So they either engage here and do something, or just peel for the Twitch. You only really need like 1 or 2 people peeling for Twitch. The other 2 or 3 can engage. So Yoji just needs to start moving because Victor's death rays are hitting for a bunch of damage here. He does have Leandri's online. He's chipping away even at the tank's HP here.
I think I see what UOG is trying to do, as they're just waiting for their flashes to come online. I think it's gonna be more so a flash engage, if not oh, never mind. We're gonna see the solar flare to stop the curtain call. Very good response, but also is that what is that, gravity slam? I'm actually not sure what that could.
It's not the best response because now you're out of solar flare and Jin just loses curtain call, which Jin doesn't really care about at the moment.
I mean, we did see the Victor engage as well. Oh, that's not it though.
Dangerous.
Leona too low. Very dangerous game to be played.
Okay.
As
But look,
Haikon in the back, but the charm.
Look at the peel for Haikon though. He's still alive. He's still doing damage. He's trying to go into stealth mode. Mordekaiser is pushing up by himself. Haikon needs to get in the mix somehow. He's trying to
he's not.
He wastes way too much time just waiting around there. He had to start DPSing to help the Mordekaiser out. Now he's getting punished. Nice dredge line there by Chronic Backpain. Gonna be taking out the Twitch, and that should be the game there. The peel was really good early on. They were stopping them from killing Twitch, but Twitch needed to help push back forward and to take down priority targets like Victor and Seraphine, and Jin, the ones that are doing damage. If they found the right players there, it would have been huge. Looks like UOG was able to respawn here. Chronic leg pain or back pain still trying to get in there. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser are going to be taking him out. The Chaos Storm by Victor doing work on the Leona, taking her out. Rise getting on top of Kupo and Victor getting a double kill there on the Riven. However, they're going back, which means they're getting more gold.
True. And they also do have in the man, what is the strong minions? Freak. I haven't played this game in so long.
Super minions.
Super minions. Why did I forget that it's called super minions? Anyways, super minions have been spawned, so that means that they're gonna have a little bit of a difficult time pushing in. But I mean, Twitch is technically online. It's just that they really have to find a way to peel a little bit more for him.
Well, Twitch is 100% online. He's got 3 items. He's good to go. Just needs.
So
I mean, he's getting the peel. He's got more peel than the Naked Orange right now, so he's super peeled for.
yeah, but this is what I kind of don't like, though. I mean, I know that you were supposed to kind of give some space. However, you know, as they're also giving Team Mayflower all of the momentum to push in their minions. So if they ever, even if they win this fight, oh, there's the engage, there's a solar flare. Look at that. There's also somebody in the back. It looks like Dunna's gonna be taken out. Oh, but it's going to be a trade. Looks like it. Both members.
Oh,
kind of traded.
huge! Encore from the back line. The Seraphine just taunting everyone that actually turned the fight so hard. That got Twitch killed, and that's all you really needed to do because all that's left is Leona and Braum.
And there it is, and that's gonna be the final member of Team UOG Triton Esports, as they're going to be chipping away at the turret. They're gonna be chipping away at the Nexus. They're gonna be trying to end the game, which there should be enough. It really should be enough to end this game. GG going to Team Mayflower, as it appears that Rise is just gonna be watching it as it happens. Very fun game though. I think it was very close. I mean, look at the kills, look at the gold. Very back and forth. I give huge props. Huge props to Team UOG for really putting up a fight against the head coaches. I mean, that's the reason why they are head coaches. So
Absolutely. So congratulations to Team Mayflower for winning this UOG ARAM showcase. Thank you to all of our sponsors and you guys for coming out and watching the show. I am Alan, Administrator Passauer.
And also, I am Paul Lazar Arpos. And I think that's going to be it for us. We're going to be wrapping it up here. However, just a reminder, be sure to check out the next showcase, which is going to be next Friday. It's going to be a CSGO. I believe you said it was a 1v1 CSGO showcase. And also on Saturday, if you do play Valorant, be sure to check out the free tournament. You can also win some keyboards and some mice. Not exclusively just from Razer, but it's a lot of value. I mean, it's I believe a $700 value in keyboards and mice to all the members who do win first place in the Valorant tournament. So it's going to be this Saturday. Put together a team, sign up, join in, and try out your luck. You could get some free stuff.
Absolutely.
But I think it's gonna be it for us, right?
Yep, that's the final game. Go ahead and sign us out, Ark.
All right, so stay at home, wash your hands, and we'll see you guys next time. So,
See you later.
Take care.